Lord have mercy. The wizard got them bang.
What's up, everybody? Hello. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. Yeah, I know this is my stand. Y'all know what this means? Victory, right? I love raising my hands and bringing the energy to the platform. Definitely want to say hello to each and every one of you. We're excited about this Super Saturday on today. Hopefully you guys got your nice cup of Delgada. I'm all set and ready to go. Hopefully you got, your bottle of water or whatever it is that you have this morning as you guys are in for an absolute treat. We were talking over the last several weeks about bringing a Super Saturday to each and every one of you. Some incredible training you're going to have today. I hope you have your pen, your notepad, so that you can take some incredible notes on today. And before we literally kick this thing off, I want to say to all of you out there, congratulations if you joined us and this is your very first rebirth event. I want to say welcome to the rebirth. We're excited for you. I always say that our organization just got better because you joined, and so we're excited to have you. If you hit some brand new ranks, you got binary qualified, and you opened up the third way of pay to start to leverage yourself, definitely want to say congratulations to those of you that got binary qualified. I believe that is, in my opinion, if you're looking to build a business, looking to earn residual income and create leverage, definitely getting binary qualified, just finding two people that really want to build a business with you, that maybe have some dreams and goals that they've set for themselves. And so as we get started, I definitely want to remind you guys that we have our slimming system. If you got your slimming system, I definitely want you to go ahead and fire up the chat. Let everybody know the wait is over. Okay, the wait is over. Take advantage of getting the slimming system. I just took my my liver cleanse, which is the clear, and my GLP-1, which is the control. And I had my tea last night. I woke up with a great experience today. So definitely, guys, the wait is over. Take advantage. Make sure you're getting this into your chats. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends, your family, sharing it with your colleagues. I know there are people out there that that's looking to get rid of some unwanted pounds and inches. There's some people out there that can't control their cravings. And I tell you, the GLP-1 absolutely will control cravings. I was telling Drake the other day, like I hadn't had coffee. And I think the only, today I was like, oh, I'm gonna just get some coffee so I can look cool when we do our Super Saturday. But guys, I love coffee. And this control have totally taken the coffee craving away. So we're excited about the slimming system. So if you got the slimming system, definitely go ahead, put a 1 in the comment section if you've got it already. And if you haven't and you're gonna get it today, go ahead and put a 2 in the comment section. We definitely want you to benefit from that. So guys, my name is Twyla Portis. I have, been in the industry for a number of years, over 2 decades, and getting started here in TLC for the second time it's been incredible. The journey of starting and doing something brand new, fresh from the beginning, isn't always the easiest thing to do, but I can tell you that we're having some fun getting it done. And so I can see where we're going to be over the next 12 to 18 months. If you've just joined us, you are just in time. this rebirth organization. We're only 4 months old, right? So you are in at the perfect time. You're in at the perfect time to build with us. I can tell you that our rebirth community, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, is one of the best communities in the industry of network marketing. We really are excited about what we're doing. We support each other, and we have an incredible mission as it relates to our faith, our family, right? Our finances, fitness, and we're going to have some fun. And we're going to have some fun today, okay? We're going to have some fun today. So I'm your host. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way. I'm going to come back later and share some dynamics with you. I believe foundation is a main ingredient in anything, in building anything. And, as I sit here in my home, I remember we were building this house. We were the third home in this entire neighborhood. And, we came and we picked out the lot, right? And we said, hey, this is the one we want. And then we came back again. They start to pour the foundation, right? And after the foundation, everything else that came, just got better and better and, prettier, and all of the dynamics that happened that actually created this home. And so in network marketing, the thing that I feel is the most valuable, and I've used this in everything I've done as it relates to network marketing and has not failed me yet, is building a strong, solid foundation. And so you're going to hear some things today that you're going to be able to put on top of, what you're building, on top of the foundation that we're going to talk about. And I can tell you that it's literally going to give you residual income. It's going to allow you to be able to leverage your business, leverage, the people that join you in business. And so foundational building is absolutely incredible. It's important. And that's what you're going to get today. Okay. That's what you're going to get today. And so I'm excited to come back and share some things with you guys. And so with that being said, welcome, get comfortable, get your pen, get your journal, get your notepad, get your calendar, and you're going to learn some incredible things today. Okay. Y'all ready for that? If you're ready for that, go ahead, put some fires in the chat. And so I'm going to bring up the next person. I won't say the next speaker. I mean, obviously this guy, is the leader of the pack. And when we were talking just about this industry and kind of what we were thinking and what we were doing and wanted to do, and I believe that it was divine, timing for both of us. And we start talking about, obviously relaunching Total Life Changes. And he was sharing with me some things he was doing. I saw him out in Dubai, with, just a sea of people. And I was like, man, what are you doing? What's going on out there? And we just began to chat. And, and long story short, he flew into Houston and we talked and made a decision that we were going to do this and we would do it together. And of course, rebirth was birth, and all the things that I wanted to rebirth in the industry, things that he wanted to rebirth in the industry. And we came together, and this mission that you hear now is, obviously was a birth out of that. And, he obviously have created, an incredible amount of income building inside of network marketing and outside of network marketing, 7 figures in the industry, multiple 7 figures in the industry. But what I love about Coach Drake is that just his tenacity and just always, looking to find ways to get things done and to get it done, in what I call quantum leaps. He truly loves relationship building. He's definitely what I like to call a social media, I'll say a social media guru. He probably would say, no, I'm not a guru, but anybody that can bring in, recruit 106 people in 5, 6, 7 days, I'll say is a guru, all on social media. But besides that, the love that he has for people and business. And so, his young mindset coupled with my older mindset, guys, you're going to get the best of both worlds. And so I love what we get to do together. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring him up. he definitely want to say hello to this organization, or his organization, our organization, however you want to call it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and step out of the way. Hopefully he's ready.
Because
What's up, y'all? Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you can tell, it's pretty early for me over here on the West Coast. It's actually 8 o'clock on this side, but I said I could not get this day started without coming on here to kind of just, you know, check on the energy. Today is you guys are going to hear from some people that I feel know 100% of the facts. Today is not gonna be the Twyler Portis show or the Daryl Drake show, but I believe that there are people inside this organization that are also doing the work that we don't always get to hear from, and so. I told TP today, I said, no, we're going to kick this thing off. And I can't help myself. I have to come and pour into you all. But I'm ready to take some notes. I'm ready to take some notes. And as I was kind of just this morning doing my little morning routine, and today I was just thinking like, man, what do I feel like? What do I feel like we need as an organization right now? And I was talking to John Licari, and I'm like, man, the best way sometimes to eliminate excuses is to eliminate excuses. And what I mean by that is, when TP reached out and said, "Hey, it's Super Saturday," and I thought about it, I said, "Man, that's a great idea because the more information, the more education, the more inspiration, the more we know the way, go the way, and show the way. Space repetition starts to kick in." And some of this information, 80% of this information, you've probably heard before. But you are in a different place today than you were a month ago. You are in a different place today than you were a year ago. Have you ever heard a message, maybe many times, but on one particular day it just hit different? And because it hit different, it helped you to understand and take action in a different way. And so, one of the things that I've shared with you in the past is that Super Saturdays, especially in person, but Super Saturdays are intended to be able to give the new person, and when I say new, anyone that's under six figures in a 12-month span, I consider new. All right. And so the new person to be able to come in and get all of the information that they need to be able to take their business to the next level. And as I was talking to Lakari earlier, I said, man, this thing is really simple. The industry of network marketing is actually pretty simple. Now, we find fancy ways to say the same old message, but the reality of it is this: the same information that I was learning in 2008, 2009 is the same information that is being taught today and the same information that works today. So I hope that, you didn't come here with the expectation of hearing something brand new, but instead coming here with the expectation that you can not only see the information and hear the information, but finally enter into a space to where you understand it, and then you can go off and start applying it. And so, Twyler started to mention how, I've been able to leverage social media over my career, especially in the last 4.5 months. And she had, pointed out the fact that I brought in 100+ people in a week. I don't know if there's ever been anyone in Total Life Changes to do that. But so much was happening. I mean, we didn't even really talk about it much, but yes, that absolutely did happen. I brought in 108 people directly. And I think that might go down as one of the best weeks in network marketing history, if you ask me. But anyways, but how did that happen, right? How did that happen? What was that activity? And it was a lot. you're going to hear obviously more from me later. The point of me coming on right now was really just to say hello, but a lot of what I did that week, I will be getting into and talking about. But there are some foundational things I believe that no matter what company you're part of, no matter what stage in your business you are in, no matter what stage of the business you are in, that you need to never get out of this cycle. So if you're ready, type ready. Let's get into it. If you're ready, type ready. While you're typing ready and getting ready with your pens and papers. What's up, Sierra? What's up, Carsey? Rachel? Walkers? What's up? What's up? Sonia, cannot wait to hear from you, my sister. Lisa, Corey. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so the first thing you never want to get out of in this cycle, the first thing is inviting. You never want to get too comfortable to where you stop inviting, AKA advertising, AKA marketing, AKA, hey, I'm open for business. This is what I have. Come in and take a look. I don't know what part of the phase that you've gotten into to where you may feel that it's not necessary to continuously be inviting to your business, but I can tell you, get out of it and snap out of it very, very quickly. My highest producing months and days have been tied to massive invites, whether it's text messages, emails, call to actions on my social media, stories, advertisements, whatever it is. I'm always open for business, but I'm always open and inviting people. And in that invite, I'm sure someone today is going to talk about this, so I won't take what they're talking about. But I will say one thing I master in the invite is piquing interest and then moving them along. So I pique interest. So I say something, I do something, I ask something that gets their juices flowing. Hey, listen, if I can help you to lose 10 pounds in the next 10 days, would you want more information about that? Hey, man, I've been seeing your videos and whatnot. Drake, what do you do? Man, I'm glad that you asked that. What are you doing right now? Are you open to hopping on a call? So I'm always trying to get people in front of information, which leads me to part two of this cycle. So number one, never get out of inviting. Number two, never get out of presenting. Never get out of presenting. I don't think there has been a day where I have not presented in 4.5 months. Not a day. Someone says, well, wait a minute, every day? Yeah, let me tell you why. Because every single day I'm either using myself or using a tool to get people in front of my information. So once I pique interest, I have all my automation set up, which you should too, because you are inside the Creators Academy and you already know this, but that's a later conversation. So every single day I have my funnel going on. I'm inviting and I'm presenting, inviting and I'm presenting. Hey, check out this 10-minute video real quick, and then let's hop on a call. Let's talk about it. Hey, if you can change anything about your health, what would it be? Hey, if you had a way to make an extra $50,000 over the next 12 months, would you want to hear about it? If I had the solution to that, would you want to hear about it? Hey, listen, have you heard of GLP-1 products? Yeah, kind of like Ozempic. Hey, listen, my company just released its own GLP-1 activator, and it's going crazy right now, man. Hey, if you got 5 minutes, I want to hop on a phone call with you. I'm always inviting, I'm always presenting. So every single day, someone on this planet is either hearing me do a launch call, hearing me do a one-on-one presentation, or watching my 10 to 13-minute video. Every single day, I'm open for business, every day. Next, so you have invite, you have present. Next, the close. Now you're going to hear a little bit more about the close today from one of our presenters as she's been able to build, her organization all the way from the Cayman Islands. But I think that sometimes we get so carried away with being high tech that we forget to be high touch. And so, and so, and so making sure that we close, and I believe that there's been very, very few people that I've been able to close without a point of contact, right? So let's just take the week that I brought in the amount of people, the 108 people. Now, obviously, I didn't hop on the phone call with 108 people, but what happened that week, the team was on fire. I had did a video that did extremely well online. I don't even know where it's at. I think it's somewhere around maybe 100, 150,000 views right now from that video. My inboxes blew up. From there, my automation was set up. And from there, I had people calling all of those leads to close them. So when you hear, oh man, 50 people or 100 people or 30 people or 20 people, don't worry, because if you're doing what you should be doing inside of the Creators Academy, all of this stuff can be automated. Many of you all wouldn't be able to close 100 people in a single week, even if they were ready to sign up, because it's just, you're not organized. You don't have everything together. And this is why Creators Academy is so important. But always be closing is really, really important. So, and all of this needs to take place in a time frame that is a small window, right? You don't want to invite and then send them the presentation 5 hours later, and then get them on the phone 5 hours after that as a follow-up. It doesn't work that way. It's always boom, 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 boom. It's like a little salsa dance, right? This is what you're doing. All right. So you invite, you present them the information, and then you go for the close. Don't be afraid to ask for the money. And I think, I remember when the industry made the shift, and some of you guys are going to laugh because you know exactly what I'm talking about once I say this. It went from in sales, you would say, okay, so are you ready to get started? Or what is your credit card number, right? And do you guys remember when the shift started to happen, where they started saying, all right, so you want to use Visa or MasterCard? And you didn't even notice the mind Jedi trick that was actually happening. You're like, wait, American Express, I guess, Visa, I guess that's what I would use. Right? So you didn't even know really what happened there. And so here's what the masters realized. It's not, listen, at the end of the day, we all want to do the thing. We want to close the deal. We want to get the money, right? And you can do that. But can I tell you, there is power in how you ask. So let me give you an example. The first example in the close is, hey, so what did you like best? That person tells you what they like best about it. Actually, that's even more. I'm giving that more power. Let me give you a week close. Hey, so did you like the information? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'd like that information too. So when do you think you'll be ready to get started? Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, no, I understand. Yeah, you got bills and all of that. So I get it. So yeah, I'll just reach back out to me. Reach back out to me once you're ready to get started in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for taking a look at my new business. It means the world to me. I appreciate you so much for taking your time out to look at my business. I'm not joining you. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm not. That was weak. I'm not doing it. Right? That's like, oh, that's a little cute business. This person, and if you do get someone to join like that, trust me, it is just a Girl Scout cookie donation. It is just, they feel sorry for you. All right. Now let's talk about how to powerfully close. Number one, I'm all posture. When I'm closing, I appreciate your time, but all of it is psychologically. All of it is psychological. So here's the thing. When I'm closing, I am like hey, listen, what information did you like best about? What did you like best about the information that you heard? Right. And they're going to tell me what they like best about it. And I'm immediately, as a professional, I'm already thinking, well, if I'm being honest, I've already studied this person. So while I'm sending them the video and they're watching the video, I'm on their social media. So I'm figuring out, okay, this is going to be she's probably going to like the money. She's probably going to like the community. He's probably going to like the weight loss. So I'm already figuring it out. I'm not trying to think while I got you on the phone. Like while you're doing your homework on TLC, I'm doing my homework on you. So now I've positioned myself in with leverage because I can kind of figure out who this person is, right? And so when they're on the phone, I'm like, hey, listen, what'd you like best about the information? They say, oh man, I love the money. Man, wow, that's amazing. Well, let me share this story with you about this lady named Latasha that came in and in her first 35 days, she made $10,000. As a matter of fact, hold on one second. Let me see if I can get Ms. Williams on a call. Right. And so do I always do a three-way? No, most of the time I don't, if I'm being honest, because I can close. But here's the reality. Here's the double-edged sword on that. You have to be really, 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 really good. And even if you're really, really good, sometimes it's still okay to get out the way and do a three-way. And I know somebody's going to talk about this, so I won't go too deep into that. But now that I've figured out what they liked, I've either put them on a call, I've asked them the right question. As I get into closing them, I'm closing basically like, hey, listen, okay, so we can get you started today, and I want to get you launched in the next 48 hours. They've already told me what they like. I've already put them on the phone with William. So let's just act like I didn't do that. Let's just say, man, perfect. I'm glad that, hey, when I heard the information, I love the fact that there were people losing weight too. As a matter of fact, on this new GLP-1 product, I've actually been able to take it a little bit early, and I lost 27 pounds, a little bit over 27 pounds in 90 days on this very product. And so who do you know right now that would love to lose weight healthy without having to take Ozempic? Man, I know tons of people. Perfect. So look, let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Let's get you enrolled today. Actually, I have a discount code that you can use today to get you started. It's going to waive $60. So you're going to pay around $80. Or if I'm trying to get them a GLP-1, you're going to pay $200, whatever that number is. All right. We're going to get you started. And then immediately we're going to get you on calendar, or we're going to get you prepared to launch your business, because I believe you can make 100% of your money back in the next 48 hours. Sound good? Perfect. All right, look, I'm going to send you the enrollment link. All right. And then as soon as you're done with the enrollment, send me over your IBO number. It'll be emailed to you, because I want to get you into the university. What did I just do there? There's never an end, right? So I've just gave them, I said, hey, I'm going to give you the link, but there's something else to come after the link. Because now they're like, okay, all right, let me do this because I want to get into this university. And then once they're in the university, I'm like, hey, listen, let me know once you've completed onboarding, because there's someone I want you to have a conversation with. And then I'm putting them on the phone with TP or with Lakari, depending on the level of leadership and who they are, right? And so the equivalent in network marketing of what, when we start talking about, do you want to pay, what did I say? So do you want to use Visa or MasterCard? Our equivalent of that is really just saying, okay, perfect. Let's get you started. Let's get you going. And if you feel like you really need to say this, you say, hey, let's get you going. And the good thing about it is that, you get a 30-day money back guarantee. So if it doesn't work out for you, no problems. We'll be able to get you a full money back guarantee. So you're really just assuming a sale, right? You're assuming that they're ready to get started, because when you talk from a place of lack or a place of needing someone, they're probably not going to get. I've never had a successful relationship in business. As soon as a person feels like you need them, it's over with. It is over with, especially in business. So here's the thing. This is your business. This is the time that you're taking to help them. And you have to have the posture of that. If you don't have that type of posture, you can forget about it. All right. And inside that close, I'm doing that. But here's the thing. I'm not even always just doing that like verbally where I'm talking on the phone. But even in my emails, even in my automations on my ManyChat, even in my videos, the majority of what matters is it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And it's how what you're saying is being perceived. So the first person was like Sierra just said, you're speaking from a place of lack. You're speaking from a place of uncertainty, and I can pick up on that. And if you're unsure about your business, I feel like you're just trying this out with me. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to use me as the guinea pig, as opposed to the second way where I'm like, there's so many people right now that are using these products to lose weight. As a matter of fact, you can just search the hashtag. There's got to be over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people just on the hashtag alone that are giving testimonies about how these products work. Matter of fact, I want to get these products in your hand. Let's get you started. Let's get you started. I don't ask questions I don't want the answer to. Hello? I don't ask questions I don't want the answer to. I don't say, do you like what I just showed you? I say, what do you like best about the information that I just showed you? Because it's only a yes or a yes. I'm not interested in those. Some of you are allowing people to give you the wrong answers because you asked the wrong questions. There's power in how you ask a question. What I love about the launch, now you go invite, you go present, close. The close is hey, listen, let's get started. All right. And then the launch. And I'm super excited to talk about this launch, but I'm not going to do it because you know why? We have someone who is qualified to talk about this, but I will kick my good sister off by just saying there is power in the launch, but it has to be done in a timely manner. So after you got somebody in, you got 48 hours to move them along. You got 48 hours to launch them, AKA get them paid. And I'm going to stop there because I know she has some phenomenal information to give you all about that. Ms. Sonia Atchison is going to be talking about that today. I believe Jay is coming on as well. Jay and Sonia, we love them and they know 100% of the facts as it relates to launching. But when I look at the body of this, and the reason why I spoke in not too much depth on these topics is because this is what you guys are going to learn today. So you're going to learn about inviting. You're going to learn about edification. You're going to learn about presenting. You're going to learn about closing. You're going to learn about mastering the launch. Okay. And so at this time, what I want you all to do for the next, 2 hours, and I'm going to move myself out the way. I want you to enter into a place of expectancy. I want you to treat this like 150% of this information that you're about to receive will change your life. Not can, will change your life. I want you to treat this like this information is coming from somebody that you respect. Maybe it's Oprah, maybe it's, whoever you respect. Maybe it's coming from Jesus Christ himself. Because I realize that depending on how we feel about the person giving us the information, that will determine how much of the information we retain and pay attention to. So I want you to put this information in the highest regards, not for them, not for the presenter, but for you. Because I'm gonna tell you something, there's no one that's going to be talking to you today that does not and has not used this information to help them earn 6, 7, or even 8 figures. So these are people that you may be new to. This may be your first experience to them, but these people know 100% of what it is that they're going to be talking about. And so for the next 2 hours, enter into a place of expectancy, enter into a place of gratitude, right? Because remember, I tell you all the time, successful people create conditions in their mind. Successful people create conditions in your mind. So this is your one-on-one with a billionaire that knows 100% of the facts. And they're going to take 30 minutes of their day to give it to you. And you're going to understand it. You're going to comprehend it. You're going to be able to get off this call today and start taking and putting this stuff into action. And people all of a sudden will start being attracted to your business. And from this moment on, it's going to flow for you. But you have to set the frequency. You have to allow it to take place. Don't come in here slouched. It's not earlier for anybody on this call as early as it is for me, because a lot of y'all are either on my time frame or you're 3 hours ahead. Some of y'all are 5 hours ahead. So come into this with excitement, expectancy, gratitude, and know that you will leave today better than you came in. And so who do we have next? Let's kick this thing off.
Okay, happy Saturday, everybody. Thank you, Coach Drake. Thank you, Dr. Twyla Portis. I'd like to just thank our amazing leadership, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super excited to be before you all today to share some nuggets. And I'm not going to be before you long. I'm going to actually pay attention to the time. And the first thing I want to talk about is effective launch methods. And that's whether you're doing a virtual launch or an in-person taste and talk. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the effective methods that I talk about on doing a launch for your business. And let me get to my slides. Let me see if my slides are up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about actually is retail. Now, a lot of us actually, I hear people say to me a lot of times, Sonia, listen, I have products. I purchased an elite kit. I purchased a premier kit. I got these products, but I don't really know how to move the products. I don't have a large pack, but I really want to be able to basically retail, because retail, you want to have a person to fall in love with the products, to be a product of the product. And they make, honestly, your best life changes because they already have a relationship with the products. So I want to share with you some things that has really, truly helped, Jay and I, as far as retailing the products. We have been very, very blessed to be able to win almost every retail trip that TLC has had because of the fact of how we actually retail the products. The first thing I always want to talk about is the approach. So, when you approach a person, you heard Coach Drake say just a few moments ago, is actually, when you talk to a person, when you approach. So when I'm in the nail salon, when I'm at the grocery store, no matter where I'm at, there's always an opportunity in the gym for me to approach a person about what it is that I have, what it is that I do, but actually as far as retailing my products. And so, if you don't open your mouth, people don't know what it is that you have. And so I'm just going to give you just a couple of nuggets that has truly worked for me that I know will work for you. I'm in the gym probably 5 times a week, sometimes 6 days a week. But even if you're not in the gym, I'm just going to give that scenario. So when I'm in the gym, I always make it a point, because if they're in there, they're into their health and into their fitness anyway. And so if I see the same person, all the time, and I say, just like Coach Drake said just a few moments ago, if I can show you you know, how to transform your body, how to lose about 10 pounds in 10 days. Would you want to know about it? That's what I say to the ladies that I work out with all the time. And they say, absolutely. I mean, I've been in here working out. You know, I don't see a big, huge change. I still can't get rid of this belly fat or whatever. And I said, let me share with you what it is that I have. And so I retail my products at the gym all the time because of how I approach the person that I've already built a relationship with in the gym. You know, and so also if I'm in the grocery store, we all have to go grocery shopping. Every single person that's on this virtual Super Saturday today, every single person on here, you've been inside of the grocery store. So when I go to the grocery store, I make it a point, especially when Jay and I go to the grocery store together. I will make it a point to make sure that I get in line behind someone that with my physical eyes, I can see that they can actually stand to use the products that we have, that they may be a little bit overweight. And so I would actually take my phone and, you know, Jay and I will start a conversation. I make sure my volume is turned off. I make sure my, my, it's not going to ring. Everything is turned off. And then I take my Bluetooth out and I'll just be talking. And I say, oh, girl, no. Okay. Now that was 50 pounds that I lost. No, I'm in the grocery store right now. What I do is, okay, nobody is on the other end. My point to doing that is because I don't want to offend the person that's in front of me. I do the exact same thing at the nail salon because I want them to ask me. I wasn't trying to ear hustle, but did I hear you say that you lost 50 pounds? And I said, oh, yes, sure. No, it's no problem. Do you mind if I ask you what's your name? And I asked them their name. And I say, yes. I say, you know what? I say, yeah. And I show them my before and after picture. And a lot of times the ladies that's in the grocery, I always do this with a female. A lot of times they'll say, you know, I mean, what? I mean, do you have any products with you? I always keep products with me, no matter where I'm going, no matter where I'm traveling. I make sure I have products on hand. That's just another scenario. That same example that I told you at the grocery store, I do it when I go get my nails done. I always do it at the nail salon. And then another place that you can actually retail your products, ladies and gentlemen, is vendor events. Now, vendor events, Jay and I, we just did a vendor event last Friday, how to retail and be attractive to your guests. You want to make sure you are attractive when you set up a vendor event, and you want to make sure that your table display is very, very attractive to the guest that's going to walk up to your table. If you actually go to a vendor event and you have one pack of, one thing of Rip and Sip of the NutriBurst, or just one pack of the lemonade flavored ISO Detox tea, in most cases, the people that's at that vendor event, they're going to walk right past your table. I want to make sure my table stands out to make them want to come because my table is very, very attractive. So what I do is actually the vendor event that we did last Friday, honestly, I only brought like 10 bottles of the 8-ounce, already mixed up of our mixed flavors of the ISO Detox tea, the lemonade flavor, the watermelon, and the fruit punch. But you always want to make sure that you have like the little shot glasses where they can actually taste the tea. I had those bottles. I had 10 bottles already made. I could have brought more, but honestly, it was my fault. Jay and I actually sold completely out of all of the bottles that we had already made. And for retail, those bottles, honestly, I sold for $5 each. And so I sold 10, but, a lady on my team said, hey, Sonia, I sell those for 10. And I really could have, but I didn't because it was a senior event. And also when I say the table being attractive, I make sure even if you don't have a transformation yourself, make sure you have a before and after photo of somebody that you know. The reason why I say somebody that you know, someone that you can actually get on the phone. If that person say, you may have a before and after of a person that you have no idea who they is, and that person wants to get that person on the phone, you're like, oh, I don't really know them. It's going to make that person feel like, okay, you a scam. How you promoting the before and after of a person that you have no idea who they are? What if they're not even in TLC anymore or whatever? And so I use a before and after picture of myself. And but I'm saying you may not have my story, so have a before and after picture of someone that's in the rebirth, someone that's actually in TLC. That way, if the person have a question, you can actually get that person on the phone if they need to ask that person a couple of questions. And so make sure you have enough products to display at your vendor event. So if you got a vendor event and you only have a 30-day supply of something, don't do the event. Okay. And so I make sure that the people are able to to taste the product. So they are sampling. They're able to actually purchase products because I have enough products for actually to sell for them to walk away with. And so, all our vendor events are very, very, very successful. And also at the vendor event, even if that person say, you know what, I don't have the money today, make sure you have a sign-up sheet where you can actually follow up after that event. Don't follow up 2 weeks after the event. Follow up. So make sure you have a sign-in sheet, have a check mark in that sign-up sheet, what it is that they're interested in. Are they interested in losing weight? Are they interested in how much weight they're wanting to lose? Are they interested in belly fat? And also consignment. I put consignment commercial. Okay, if you have a relationship with a person that owns a barbershop, a person that owns a hair salon, those type consignment shops, it can be a coffee shop. You want to build a relationship with the person who can make a decision that you can put your products in there on consignment. Okay, my hairstylist, I've been going to the same exact hairstylist now, ladies and gentlemen, now. I've been going to her for about 9 years. And because I've built a relationship with her, I go there all the time. I tip very well. I have that relationship with her. So I went to her when we came back in TLC with the rebirth. I said to her, I said, listen, she actually, even though she owns the salon, she has several styles that work in her salon for her. I said to her, I said, listen, I would like to know, can I put my products in your salon on consignment? So when you do consignment, you have to identify, what is your cost, identify, how much products you're going to leave, how, and, have a display. So in her salon, I have an area in her salon with my before and after photo. I set up the display. I know how much products I'm going to drop off with her. I go pick up my money every single Friday. I know what her cut is because I've been going to her so long. She was like, no, you don't have to pay me anything. And I said, okay, just for you, allow me to use your establishment. You can say, okay, if she sell, one pack of this for $25, you can give her $5 a pack. That's if you choose to, but build it, have that relationship, that person, and then when she sells it, you already have your signs already made up. You know how much you left with the establishment. That's a great way to retail your products. A really, really great way for you to retail your products. And then you actually have a consignment sheet that you actually give to that person and say, hey, today I'm dropping off 20 bags of the brewed tea. I'm dropping off, 50 sachets of the instant tea. So you already know what you are expected to receive when you go back or whatever day that you choose to pick up your money. That's a great way to retail. Also, when you do the consignment, make sure you have a list down there, have your card, have a list where the people that's actually purchasing it, how to contact them so you can educate them on how to take the product and how to use the product. Because when you drop off that consignment, the person who actually have it in their place of business, they don't know how to explain to the customers that's coming into their business how to use the product. That person just actually taking the product, they actually are either Zelling her, Cash Apping her, giving her actually, cash or whatever. And then they take their product and leave. I like to talk to my customers and myself. I don't put that in the hands of somebody else. And then always ask for referrals. I am always asking for referrals. I always ask, even family members, friends, people I went to college with. I'm always asking for referrals because even if this is not for them, I want to get into their network. And then also, but don't wait on TLC to have their sale. Create your own flash sale. Just create a sale of your own. I may say, hey, this right here is $19.99. They're not going to give me 99 cents. They're going to give me $20. Create whatever that sale is that you want to create, but, just create flash sales and then host a post. Some of you all have heard this, but host a post is really, really, really great. I like to do it, honestly, during the holidays. And also I like to do it when we actually have a promotion, because what I do is when I say host a post, I am asking some of my friends that's on social media. Now, everybody have whatever their lane is, whether that's TikTok, whether that's Instagram, whether that's Facebook. Mine, honestly, is Facebook. A lot of people that I've met, a lot of people that Jay and I have enrolled, honestly came from Facebook. But with Facebook, I have I have a really great friend. She and I went to college together. And, I went to Grambling State University. And so a lot of my college friends, I get to see them, during homecoming and during the Bayou Classic. But one of my friends, she's very, very, very well connected, very well connected. And so with her, I say because she's so well connected, she has always supported Jay and I as a customer. She's not done the business. She's done, years ago when we did a different business in the art business, but for us, with the Rebirth and with TLC. And I say to her, actually, this happened a couple of years ago. I say, Carolyn, I want to know, do you mind hosting a post for me? And she said, Sonia, what's host a post? I said, I'm going to give you the verbiage, what to say. I'm going to copy and paste it. All you need to do is copy and paste it on your wall. Basically what I said to her was, and I did it with the Brood Tea, and it was during the holidays. It was during Christmas time. And so when she posted this post for me, all my main goal was to get into her network, because I asked her to tag me on it and to post my before and after photo. And so when she posted this post on her wall, she said, hey, do I have any friends that's on my, my social media and that's looking to lose, 5 pounds really, really fast, or looking to lose, 20 pounds, 30 pounds plus. This is my friend. And then she tagged me. She actually had this really great product, the IASO Detox Tea. She got some other amazing products. I want you to contact her. Well, this is the thing. And I told her, when she do this, if I get any people that order at least 3 products, I'm going to actually bless her with, a couple of products for free. I ended up getting 12 customers as a result of her hosting this post for me. I would have never got into her network if she didn't do it, because see, she's not a business partner of mine and she didn't mind doing this. So I say, let's do it with people who have a large network. And so, so those are just some tips that I want to share today on retailing the product. The next thing I want to go over with you all today is actually taste and talk home parties. So when you actually schedule a taste and talk home party, one thing that Jay and I, that's very, very important to us, every time we actually have a brand new life change, especially if they're local in our market, we want to get into their living room. If they're local within our market, we say, okay, we need to get in your living room, or if they're actually within an hour of driving distance. So the first thing we say, okay, your first initial contact, we want to actually help them to actually, so because you said your first initial contact is not by text. This is on a in-person home party. Your first initial contact, they need to hear your voice. They need to hear your excitement. We're going to teach and coach them on how to invite. We can't assume because they said yes to us, they said yes to Total Life Changes, they said yes to the Rebirth, they just know how to do a home party. They may be great at having cookouts and inviting people to things that they have at their house, but this is totally different. And then we say, okay, actually, who are you looking for? We tell them, we look, who are you looking for to invite to your taste and talk? And so we tell them that, put a list together. And then also we looking for quality versus quantity. You can have 35 people at your taste and talk, but they could be the wrong 35. They could be, we want you to have quality versus quantity. If we have 5 quality people, that's what we're looking for. Right. And so a lot of times a person said, well, you know what? I don't know anybody. I don't have enough room. I say to them, I said, well, do you have a couch? Yes, I do have a couch. Okay, well, you have enough room. And when they say they don't know anybody, we help them to jog their memory brain. Everybody knows somebody. If you 35 years plus, 30 years, somebody, right? And so RSVP and explain why. I tell them, listen, for your taste and talk, get them to RSVP. And the reason why is because what you want to say to them is, listen, I only have a limited amount of space. It is okay for you to say no, but it's not okay for you to say yes, you're coming and don't show up. And so a lot of times you ask a person when they have their taste and talk that I want to know, can I count on you? If a person say that to me, if a person say that to Jay and they say, can I count on you? That's going to hit home for me. I can't tell a person, yes, they can count on me when I know good and well I'm not coming. And we always tell our hosts, listen, if your guests say they're going to try to come, they ain't coming. We don't want no try. Either you're coming or you're not coming. You can't try to come. You can't, are you coming or you're not? you have to say that to them. You have to say to I can't say that to them, but the host can say that to her guests. And then also we always coach them on, give them ideas on refreshments, because we want to make sure that that is duplicatable. Say, for instance, our host has a home tasting talk, and she decided to cook collard greens with neck bones in it, fried chicken, some ribs, cornbread, mac and cheese, all this. But she may have a guest that's there, and they sitting there, and they're like, man, I don't mind doing this. And they heard the whole presentation. They're very, very interested. They want to join as a life changer, but in their mind, they're like, I can't do all of that. I can't cook like that. I can't afford to pull out a spread like that. So we tell them to keep it actually simple. Give them some ideas of what you mean by simple, because what I just named, that may be simple to her, to him. So actually tell them, have a fruit tray, have some, a chicken salad, have tuna salad. Keep it simple, that type of simple. And because basically what you're doing is, when a host have that kind of food, you're going to be competing against the food, and you're not going to win. The food is going to win every single time. So you want to make sure that, keeping the refreshments simple, but you want to make sure that it's duplicatable. Okay. And make sure we always want to make sure the host has products. They want to have products. So if they join today is Saturday, and we actually launch them on Tuesday, okay, their products haven't gotten here. We have enough products on hand that we will have the host products actually shipped to us, and then we give her, her kit or whatever it was that she actually started with. So you want to make sure the host have products, because she or he should have already done tried the products. Don't allow the day of their home party be the first day that they done taste the tea, but they tasting what you done brought as you being the presenter. Because when your friends ask them, what, hey, Jason, what have you tried? Oh, I ain't tried nothing. It kills the whole entire presentation, because in their mind, they figure you done invited me over here. You haven't even tried the products yourself. So you want to make sure the host has already tried the products, that he or she is already a product of the product. And then another thing that we do, we actually email the TLC Rebirth presentation slide to the host at least a day early. That way they can actually already have it downloaded and streamed to their TV. Okay. And then you want to make sure that the host is always attentive and engaged. And what I mean by that is, if we're doing the presentation, we're at your home, but you're in there washing dishes, you're in the, are you, in the laundry room putting up clothes, your guest in their mind is like, this is not important to him or her. You want to be present in the room, engaged, meaning that, you engaged in what it is that we're doing, that you're very, very attentive. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you want to serve the refreshments afterwards. Only thing we do before the presentation starts is actually let them try and taste the tea. That's it. We're not serving no food before we actually get started, because you want to make sure that they're actually eating the refreshments when we're mingling afterwards. You mingle before, but afterwards they're actually doing the refreshments. And then that way, as we closing it out and signing people up, but you want to have a strong close, ask for support. We bring the hostess right back up, because those are her friends and her family, his friends and his family. Bring the host back up after the presentation is over. He or she comes to the front of the living room and asks their family for support, and say to them, hey, listen, thank you all so much for coming today to my tasting talk. I would love if you could support me today. Support me from a customer standpoint, or support me as actually joining me in business. They have to ask for the support, because we're going to close it out strong anyway, but they have to ask for the support. Because if I went to somebody's event, whether they're selling Tupperware, whether they're selling Mary Kay, whatever, I'm not going to go if they're not going to support and buy something. If I go, I already intended to buy something. So you have to ask for that. And so that's actually a taste and talk in person. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I want to touch on today is a virtual launch, because sometimes you have to launch people. They're in a different country, they're in a different state than you, but you still want to make sure that you're able to launch their business virtually. That way, when they get ready to do it themselves at their home, they know how to do it. So when we do a virtual launch, it's done a little bit different, because you're not in person. They can't taste the product. But actually, what the first thing that we do, because we actually have a virtual launch today. First thing we do is when I get with the host and I say, listen, I need to help you to put a contact list together of 100 to 150 people. Now, that actually sometimes depends on the person and their network, but they really, really need to put a solid contact list together. That's very, very important. And then once they put that contact list together, I always tell them the very first initial contact, the very first time that you contact, your guests that you're going to invite to the virtual launch, it needs to be a voice note so they can hear your call, or a physical call, because it needs to be done with a sense of urgency. So if you're launching a person, say for instance, if the launch is Thursday, they need to stop. They need to let their people know it's done with a sense of urgency. You don't tell them 2 weeks in advance, right? That's a home party, maybe 1 week or in advance or whatever. But a virtual launch, we say, you know what, that's done with a sense of urgency, and you let your guests and your network know. You want to let them know at least 2 days in advance, right? That's how we launch ours. And then also you want to start inviting. I just said that 2 to 3 days early, but you always want to edify the presenter. Take yourself out the way. You want to edify the person that's actually doing your virtual launch, and edify the presenter, because that person may say, listen, you know what? Hey, Sharon, I know that you, when you invite Sharon, invite this, like, please. Sharon just asked to borrow $20 from me last week. So you want to edify the presenter, and then actually you want to send 3 separate text message reminders on the date of the launch. I want to give you an example. Say, for instance, if your launch is at Wednesday at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to send a first reminder at 12 noon. And on that first reminder, you can say something like this. You can copy and paste and send all of them the same. That's the reminder, the day of. Remember, your first initial contact was like 2 days before. But on the first, and then on the first initial contact reminder, at the first initial contact, you're gonna send, you're gonna call them. You're gonna be in a hurry. You're gonna call and say, "Hey, listen, Drake, I'm super excited. I'm having my grand opening virtual launch of my new business that I just started. I'm super excited." Now, this is if you're talking to him on the phone. He may say, "Hey, what this about?" You don't want to get into all what it's about, because you know what, you're brand new. So it's not your job to give a full-fledged presentation. That's not what your job is for. You're inviting them. Then job is to invite. And so while you inviting Drake, and Drake say, "No, what this about?" Say, "Listen, Drake, I'm in a hurry. I just want to know, can I count on you to show up? I'm having my grand opening launch is actually, tomorrow. And my business partner, she's a documented multiple 6-figure income earner in the industry. Just give a little bit of bio about the person that's presenting. She was able to lose, 50 pounds in 4 months. Her and her husband, they're doing very well in this business, just something like that. But you shouldn't be on the phone. If you're on the phone for more than 2 minutes, you're on the phone too long. And so that's your first initial. But then when you're on the day of your launch, remember, this is important to you. This is not important to your guests, because they haven't heard the information yet. So you have to remind them. So on the day of your launch, you send 3 separate text reminders. On the first reminder, "Hey, looking forward to seeing you tonight. Make sure you download the free Zoom app," because, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot assume that everybody has Zoom. We can't assume that, honestly, because some people work in the industry, they don't have a need for Zoom. They may be a truck driver, they may be a construction worker, they know what it is, but they don't have it downloaded. So on the day of your launch, you got people texting you, "Oh, I can't get on." They can't get on because they don't have the app downloaded. So you want to say, make sure you download the free Zoom app. Looking forward to seeing you tonight at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Second text message. This may sound redundant, but I'm telling you, it 100% work. The second text message is going to be real quick and short. You can copy and paste it in the exact same thing to everybody. "Hey, this is the VIP link to my grand opening launch tonight. Again, see you tonight at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time." Last text reminder is 15 minutes prior to we starting. 15 minutes. At 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever time your launch is, send them a third reminder, a last reminder. "I see you in 15 minutes. Again, here's the link." That's all you're going to say. And so you want to, after the launch is over with, I always bring the host back up to the screen, and I want the host actually to say to her guest that's on her launch, "Hey, you know what? I'm super excited. Thank you all so much for joining me again tonight. Thank y'all so much. But listen, I want to ask you all for your support. I want to ask you all for your support. I would be really grateful if you all can support me. And I'm gonna send you my link right after we get off the call. Whatever products that you heard, I heard Sonia talk about, whichever ones that you are interested in, I'm gonna call you. Make sure that host calls right after the launch. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until the next day. So again, ladies and gentlemen, my time is up. I just want to say thank you. I hope you all got something from what I shared today. If anything that I said resonated with you all today, just type a 555 in the comments and let me know that you actually got something from this virtual Super Saturday, my portion of it. Thank you. Have an amazing, blessed day.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all give it up for Sonia Atchison. I tell you, I'm sitting here taking notes, and everything that you shared today, Sonia, was just absolutely amazing, guys. She talked about, home parties. I think that home parties is something that any and everybody can do. You can invite 10 to 12 of your friends to your living room. And the beautiful thing about the home party is getting into those people warm market. You want to keep it going, right? We call it tap rooting. And so way to go, Sonia, sharing some incredible tools and tips. And she talked about the virtual launch. She talked about vending. I saw that you guys got great value out of what Sonia shared today, because I saw the 5s coming up in the chat. But here's what I want you to know. I want you to know who you are listening to, right? So this is training, obviously, because we don't ever bring up, a leader without edification. Edification is going to be talked about today and how to do it, but we missed it, just obviously, some technical, because, Drake is going to stay up and bring up Sonia. But I want you guys to know that when you are sharing and you're bringing up a speaker, whether it's online, whether it's, at a home party, a virtual launch, an opportunity presentation, a 3-way call, whatever it is that you're doing, you always, always, always want to edify the person first before they start speaking. All right. So I'm going to still give Sonia her edification. Guys, she is a 2-time author, right? A CEO of a virtual call center, right? She's been doing that for 14 years. Some of you think she may just do TLC only, but her and her husband, own a virtual call center over 14 years. She's a multiple 6-figure earner in the industry of network marketing and direct sales. She travels the world, ladies and gentlemen. Her motto is living while you living, right? And I see her, some of you who follow her, if you haven't and you don't follow her, I encourage you to do that. Her and her husband is always somewhere out of the country, traveling the world. That is who they are. And they won the TLC Top Retail Retreat trip 4 times in a row. So as she's talking to you about products and vendoring and home parties and virtual launches and things of that nature, she knows what she's talking about, right? Because there's not been a trip, a top retail trip or top producers trip that TLC have put on that her and her husband have not won, right? So that is who you were just listening to. So give it up for Sonia one more time out in Atlanta, Georgia. Guys, let me say this. I don't see enough people on my timeline. I don't see you guys, making stories, posting it, tagging, the speakers. I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. It's dry, right? The world doesn't even know that there is a virtual Super Saturday going on. The world does not know that your leader, Coach Drake, just got through laying down some nuggets. I went to his page. I don't see nothing on his story. The world doesn't know that Sonia just dropped all of these incredible nuggets, right? I don't see you tagging her. I don't see it on your story. It's not on my timeline, right? Because when you start doing, the world doesn't know that Dr. TP just kicked it off, right? And, and obviously, hosting and sharing. The world doesn't know that, right? And so the world should know. So moving forward, every speaker that comes up, if a nugget gets dropped in your spirit, go to your Instagram, type it in the on the text part, and hashtag whatever you want to say. Rebirth Virtual Super Saturday. Okay, we want to dominate, guys, the timeline on today. Are y'all getting some good stuff? Are y'all getting some good information on today? We are just getting started, right? So if you're getting some good information on today, I want you to definitely drop a 1 in the comments. What would Coach Drake think if, he's out there and the timeline is dry? Nothing's happening on the timeline, okay? So we're going to make sure that that we keep this party going, rather. And our next person that is going to speak today Why were we out of order? All right, let me see. Who's up next? Who is up next? Who's helping me on the back line? Bring up our next speaker so we can definitely give the proper edification. All right.
Maybe the night that my tears might let me know all the stars are close, all the stars are close, all the stars are close. Maybe.
All right. All right. There she is. So, guys, let me tell you who you're going to hear from on today. This amazing. What's going on, Nikki? How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, honey bunny. Great morning.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, guys, I want to go ahead and give Nikki her proper edification. She shared some stuff with us on today, and as I look for it, yes. I mean, I am not surprised, guys. Look at that hair. I tell you, retired hairstylist of 23 years turned documented six-figure earner in her home-based business. She's a mother, she's a grandma, and a lover of life, living proof that fun, happiness, and fulfillment is always within reach, right? So y'all give it up for none other than Nikki Alexander. That's going to bring some incredible things to you guys today. Grab your note, grab your note, your notepad, your pen, and let's get started. Nikki, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Twyla Portis. Guys, listen, I have been in TLC for some years, and I've always watched from afar Dr. Twyla Portis. I love her energy. I love her grace. I love her style. She's just absolutely amazing. And I'm super excited that this time around, okay, when I returned with the rebirth, I have the opportunity to actually work with her side by side. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Dr. Portis. And listen, guys, I hope that everyone that is on this line today, that you are just as excited for this Super Saturday as I am, okay? We have some phenomenal speakers that are lined up. You've already heard from, the visionaries and the movers of the movement, the rebirth. You've heard from the dynamic duo already. Of course, that is Dr. Twyla Portis and Coach Daryl Drake. You've heard from my sister, okay, Coach Sonia Atchison, guys, absolutely amazing information. I have my notebook and my pen ready. I'm already about 10 pages deep, okay? So I highly recommend that you continue to take notes. I mean, we have Latasha Watt Williams coming on. We have Coach Forbes coming on. We have my coach and sponsor, none other than, Jason L. Scott the first. So guys, listen, I am super excited about this Super Saturday. And as I said before, I have been with TLC before. 2015 is when I started my journey. Took a break in 2022, came back in December of 2024 with the rebirth. And guys, when I tell you there is no energy like the rebirth energy, all right? So let's give it up for our rebirth family, all right? Let's really give it up for our rebirth family, because again, the energy is amazing and it's infectious, okay? And I know that we're all here at the right place at the right time. But today, guys, okay, I just want to kind of start with a moment of truth, all right? If that's okay with you guys. If it's okay if I be truthful with you guys, I need you to type a 1 into the comment section, okay? And I don't want to, kind of go into this glossy hype, Facebook, IG, highlight reels story, okay? REEL. I don't want to get into that. I want to get into the real, the REAL, the real, the raw, the roller coaster ride that we have all signed up for, okay? Now, if you have ever felt excited one day and then overwhelmed the next day, if you've ever questioned if you're really built for this, okay? Even after you've seen just like a glimpse of success, right? If you've ever found yourself, in public, you're happy, you're smiling, and then in private, you're crying, trying to figure this thing out, wondering what's going on, what's happening, why is it taking so long? Like your mind is filled with all these different thoughts, guys. Well, listen, To be honest, it's normal. Okay. That's normal behavior. Those are normal thoughts. And the great news is you're not doing anything wrong. You're not broken. You're just caught in a cycle. Okay. And you are caught in that emotional cycle of entrepreneurship. Okay. And this is a cycle, guys, I promise you that just about every single entrepreneur at one time or another has experienced. Okay. And if you want to become successful in business, guys, you're going to have to go through some things in order to grow. And it's not always easy. All right. I learned in the very beginning when I got started that this business is three things. Okay. This business is, and I want you guys to make sure that you write this down. And I'm sure you probably heard it before, but hey, okay. The mother of all learning is repetition. But this thing is three things. All right. It is psychological, it is numerical, and it is duplicatable. And there is a reason why it's psychological first. Okay. There's a major reason why it's psychological first. Psychological is not number three, it's number two, it's number one. And that is because if your mind isn't right, okay, if this isn't right, nothing else will happen, okay? Through the mechanics of it, the numbers of it, the duplication of it, okay? All the work that you need to put into your business, it'll never see the light of day if your mind isn't right. So understanding yourself, recognizing where you are, and learning to go through the motions with the proper emotions, okay, it's not going to prevent you from feeling certain things or experiencing certain obstacles, but it will help equip you to overcome these things. So we're going to go ahead and get into these 8 stages of the emotional cycle, okay? And one thing that I want you all to kind of keep in mind, and you can leave the slide right there. One thing that I want you guys to kind of keep in mind is PD, okay? Somebody type PD into the comment section. Keep in mind always PD. Now, you guys know I'm originally from Detroit, you know, born and raised, and I lived in Atlanta for a long, long time, right? So when I was first told to always keep PD in mind, first thing I was thinking was like, why do I need to keep the police department in mind? I don't talk to no po-po, okay? No, I'm just kidding, right? So listen, PD is not police department, all right? PD is always and will be, in this case, in business, personal development, all right? Because personal development is going to raise your IQ levels, all right? And we say IQ level stands for your I quit levels. It's going to raise your I quit levels. All right. So we want to always make sure that we are plugged into personal development. Okay. Because the thing is, guys, we are not just building a business. We are building resilience. Okay. We're building a legacy for our families. Okay. We're building a better version of ourselves so that we can shine always. Remember in the beginning, my quote or my famous quote or my favorite quote is, the world is your stage, okay? Your life is your performance. And so every day we have to show up, right? So next slide, please. Thank you so much. I have somebody on the back line, you know, kind of doing the slides for me. But listen, guys, what is the emotional cycle? Of course, every entrepreneur is going to experience emotional highs and lows when it comes to business. This cycle is definitely normal and it is necessary, okay? It is necessary for you to go through these things so that you can grow through these things, all right? And being aware of it is definitely going to help push you through instead of you just quitting or a person actually quitting, all right? And so I want to jump right into the 8 stages of the emotional cycle. And we're going to start with stage 1, all right? Stage 1 is new member, okay? When a person first gets started in this business, guys, they are super excited. They are plugged in. They are attending every event. You know, they're talking to just about everybody. It's excitement, okay? And this is the stage that most people want to be in, all right? Because when a person first gets started, they are at the height of their enthusiasm. So everything is wonderful, right? Optimistic, they're grateful. All right. You'll hear people say things like, this is it. This is what I pray for. You know, I'm so grateful. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. This is the stage that we want to keep people in. And that is with that new member energy. That is that new member mindset. That is stage one. But what happens to a lot of people, especially when they are not plugged into PD, okay? Sometimes people will go straight to stage two. And stage two, ladies and gentlemen, is the frustration stage, all right? Now, what happens in the frustration stage? You know, remember in stage one where everybody was excited and they were talking to everybody and they were, you know, just saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. All right, all these things were happening. And what happens in the frustration stage is when they start talking to their sister, brother, cousin, friend, Tracy, Bessie, they start talking to all these people and they don't get the response that they anticipated, okay? They start to feel a certain type of way. It starts to not feel good when the person that you thought was going to say yes to helping you, or not even helping you, to joining your business or purchasing your products, people start to feel a certain type of way. And this stage two of frustration, people start to experience certain obstacles, okay? Like out of the blue, things will start to happen. Like for instance, on my way to, you know, see my new grandson who is now like a week and 3 days old, I'm coming off the highway and my brakes go out. Imagine how scary that was for me, all right? In my mind, I'm like, Lord, don't bring my baby in and take me out at the same time. But just like that, obstacles will start to happen, unforeseen bills, okay? Family members will start cutting up, relationship issues, all these things are, you know, happening, all right? And we like to say all hell is going to break loose and people feel the pressure. But again, when a person is plugged into personal development, all right, when they are plugged into personal development, it's really important. Even when they become frustrated, they know how to move alone, okay? So if you see someone in your organization, or if that is just you, all right, and you see that they start experiencing things, know that it is frustrating, but there's always a way that we can push through. Now, that is stage two, right? Now, of course, there is stage three, ladies and gentlemen, all right? And with stage three, and not everybody is going to get to each of these stages, just so you guys know, and they may not even go in order, but stage three is shock, okay? Stage three is shock. Stage three, people start to think. Okay, they start to think, oh my goodness, okay, I cannot believe this is not working. Stage three, they're like, you know what, I cannot believe I've been in this business for 30 days and I haven't made $30 million. All right, people start to, you know, realize that it's not easy. And if you thought that this business was easy or being an entrepreneur was easy, all right, surprise, surprise. Okay, y'all be watching that TikTok thing when okay, but anyway, right? It's not easy. It is not easy, but the thought, the shock, it starts to go into a person's mind, but the shock is the thought. Stage four is denial, okay? And denial is the actual action, all right? The definition of denial is like, the definition of denial is like the action of declaring something to be untrue, okay? So shock is the thought of it, but denial is the action, right? And so when people get into this stage, what tends to happen, they start to withdraw, okay? That person in the beginning that was like, oh, I'm going to be here, I'm always going to be around, that person that was plugged in, that person that was calling all the time, that person that was attending to all these different events, when they get into this stage, they are missing in action. You can't find them anywhere. It's like, where's Waldo? Okay. They stop avoiding, they start avoiding calls. They start doing everything else besides building their business. Okay, so stage four, with that denial, the action comes into place. And again, when you get into this stage, or if you get into this stage, or if you know of someone that is into this stage, this is when you really, 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 you have to really plug into personal development, because all of these different things are just mental. It's psychological. All right. Remember, I said in the beginning, this business is three things, and psychological is number one. All right. And then, of course, we have stage 5. All right. Stage 5 is fear. And we know that fear is false evidence appearing real. We know that fear keeps you frozen. We know that the fear of failure will actually scare the success away. Fear will trick you out of your spot, okay? But with fear, those inside voices start to happen, okay? People start to think, I can't do this. All right, I can't do this. Maybe this isn't for me. Selling isn't for me. Talking to people, that's not really my thing. What was I thinking? People really start to get in their head in this stage. And we always say, when you get in your head, you're dead, okay? Because nothing else is going to move. And again, with all these stages, ladies and gentlemen, personal development is going to be key to get you out of these stages, because I promise you, everybody at one point in time has felt or thought these things. All right. Now we're going to get into stage 6. All right. Stage 6 is anger. And there's actually 2 parts to anger. Now, anger, part 1, is outward anger. Okay, outward anger. With outward anger, a person who is in this stage, they will start to listen. When they're in this stage, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to blame the world, Chico. They're going to blame the world, Chico, and everything in it, okay? They are going to blame the company. They're going to blame their upline. They're going to blame their downline. They're going to blame the sidelines. They're going to blame their sideburns, the cat, the dog. Everybody can get it. They're going to blame every single person, because they are going to feel some type of way. They are going to feel like they got duped. They're going to feel betrayed. They're going to feel left down. They're going to feel as though somebody didn't give them all the information that they needed in order to have success. And we all know that feelings aren't facts, okay? So that anger stage, that part 1 of the anger stage, is when a person starts to blame, okay? Blame everyone else instead of taking responsibility for their own actions, their own thoughts, and their own business, which takes us to stage 7, which is also anger, right? Part 2, but it's also anger. But that's when it goes from outward anger to inner anger. When it goes to inner anger, a person will really they'll start to think about what it is that they need to do, okay? Self-reflection, removing the smoke and mirrors, okay? A person might ask themselves like, hey, am I the problem? Okay. Am I the problem? Right? You really start to think, okay, what is it that I am doing, or what is it that I need to do? A person really starts to focus on themselves, personal growth, practicing emotional intelligence. Okay. Because with stage 6, that first part of fear, the emotional intelligence is out of the window. Okay. Everybody can get it. It's just like, you don't even want to see that person coming. All right. You don't even want to be around that person. But in the 7th stage, that second part of the anger, guys, again, you really are looking at self. All right. And it goes from you versus everybody to you versus you. Your responsibility will awaken. All right. Now, when we get to stage 8, ladies and gentlemen, stage 8 is the recommit. Okay. In the recommitment stage, you're going to get back to that new mindset. Okay. You're going to get back. You're going to start to say to yourself, you know what? Okay. You know what? It's not like me. This is not like me to not reach my goals. This is not like me to give up. This is not like me to be angry and to lash out at people and to quit on myself. This is not like me. Okay. Like seriously, let me pull it together. All right. Let me pull it together. And those thoughts that a person is going to have in that recommitment phase is going to take them to actions, with the action is to get back to step 1, that new member energy and that new member mindset, that new member excitement, that new member optimism. Okay. We always want to get back to stage 1, because stage 1 is exactly where we need to be and to stay. okay? Stay in the energy of the new member, all right? So listen, next slide, please. This is definitely with the emotional cycle or the entrepreneurship cycle, guys. There is like a growth loop, and again, each loop that we go through, it's going to make us wiser, it's going to make us tougher, it's going to equip us a little bit better to go through these things. But also, as we start to lead, as we start to coach people, as we start to bring people into this industry and into our business, we already know what happens. We already know how to identify these different stages. And because we can identify these different stages, we're able to help people in the process. When we say we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves, that's because in order for us to grow, we have to help other people. Zig Ziglar said it best. You help enough people get what they want, you're going to get yours in return. So you always are doing these things for yourself, but also with the intention that you're going to help more people in the process. Okay. And so there are things that you can actually do, guys, to make sure that you are getting, even if you find yourself stuck into these different cycles, stuck into these loops. All right. There are things that you need to do consistently to kind of make sure you get in there and you get out as quickly as possible. Okay. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. Right. You want to make sure that you are connected, you're staying connected. Community is everything. We're not meant to do life alone. All right. So you want to make sure that you are staying connected to the community. You want to make sure that you're plugging into the system. All right. We have an amazing system, the Rebirth University, guys. Please make sure if you are not connected to the Rebirth University, that you get into that Rebirth University. It's going to give you not only community, but it's also going to give you everything that you need in order to build your business. Okay. Even this training today is going to be reposted on the Rebirth University. So you'll always have the things that you need. All right. So plugging in is definitely going to be key. All right. You want to make sure that you are communicating. All right. Communicating with your upline. That doesn't mean that you have to talk to your upline and your sponsor every single day for 30 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour or whatever that is. Right. You don't always have to talk to them every day, but reach out. Okay. I think Drake said it on the call the other day, out of sight, out of mind. You always want to communicate with your upline. All right. And this is key. And I kind of skipped over it because, it was for a reason, but affirmations. Okay. You want to plug into the system, but you want to plug into yourself as well. Okay. You want to plug into God. You want to plug into whatever religious or whatever spiritual belief that you believe in. Okay. Now we know here at the Rebirth, we're focusing on 5 different things, but your faith is number 1. All right. And affirmations is a great way for you to speak your vibrational energy out into the world so the world knows what it needs to return back to you. So saying your affirmations is so important. Every single day I'm saying my affirmations to the point where, I don't even need index cards anymore, right? I can walk through the house doing whatever I need to do, saying my affirmations, because the thing is, and the truth is, you want to speak, okay? Hear me. You want to speak what you seek until you see what you spoke. All right. I hope that makes sense. You want to speak what you seek until you see what you spoke. So every single day, you want to make sure that you are telling, right? You are speaking, you are commanding. All right. You are commanding your life. And the last thing, guys, you want to do is, well, not the last thing, right? But you want to embrace trainings. You want to embrace the leadership. You want to embrace mentorship. Okay. What that means is you want to take it all in. All right. If you get the information, everything that you're going to get on this Super Saturday, don't just write it down in your notebook, close your notebook, and then your notebook, it has dust on it. All right. Until you got to blow it off on the next training. Okay. When you're getting this information, take it in, practice, implement. All right. Implement the things that you are being taught and give yourself some grace. Listen, we are not perfect people. We're all going to fall short at some point in time. All right. At some point in time, we're going to mess up. But the thing is, and the key is, again, give yourself some grace. You want to live, you want to learn, and sometimes you're going to relearn some lessons in life. All right. So what I want you guys to do is later today, think about where you are, be real with yourself, identify which stage that you are in. Okay. And listen, the thing is, you could be in several stages at one time. I promise you, it feels like sometimes I'm in all 8 stages in one day. All right. Maybe within an hour. I don't know. Right. I'll go from, oh my God, I'm so excited, to what the heck is going on, to, ain't nobody got time to this, or seriously, I can go through all 8 stages in one day. But once I get to, let me check myself, let me get myself together, let me get into some personal development, guys, I'm right back at stage 1, right? So I hope that helped you guys. I hope that was able to give you some information that you can, of course, use so that you know exactly what to do when you find yourself in these situations, in these psychological situations. All right. The main thing is that you recognize it and you move forward, and you never, ever, ever quit. You cannot quit on you. All right. So before I go, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely my time. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate, being able to be here today. I'm definitely grateful for our leaders, Dr. Porter and, Coach Daryl Drake, for even trusting me to actually speak with you guys today. And also, I know that, I was going to cover some basic back office things to do, but what we decided was I'm going to do a video, okay, and go over those basic back office things that you guys need to plug into. And we are going to put it into the Rebirth University so you guys can always watch it, pause it, take notes, go along with it, do what you need to do. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again. I hope that you all have an awesome and amazing and fantabulous Saturday. And I'll turn it over to Drake.
Well, look,
Coach
before you go, listen, man, you said a thing. You said a thing. You talked today, and I have so many notes, but just staying connected into the community, and then just the phases of entrepreneurship. We can take TLC out of it. What you spoke about could be applied to the phases of entrepreneurship, the phases of relationships, the phases of even, you can even go spiritual, right? Like you have conflict and you believe and you don't believe, and then right. And so I love how you put this body of work together, because when people start to understand what you just taught on, their education, their expectations will then be educated, and now they can just exist in the flow state, and knowing that as long as you're in line, everything that's happening to you to knock you out of line, guess what? The person in front of you experienced it, and the person behind you will experience it. And so when you get your mind into like, hey, listen, this is supposed to be happening, but all I need to do is these things. So love you so much for that. Great job. You guys give Nikki some hearts, some fires. She totally nailed it. But listen, the next person that we're about to bring up, he really doesn't need much of an introduction. But let me tell you something. I met this guy. I want to say, man, 8 years ago, and he'll probably correct me, once he comes on. But he's a former Army vet, paratrooper, and 30 years in entrepreneurship. And one thing I know about that, right, is that if you stay somewhere long enough, you learn enough about it to where you've learned something to be able to teach it. And it's like saying, hey, man, I played basketball for 30 years. Well, I mean, you may not be in the NBA, but you know something about something. And so anytime someone says, hey, man, I've been on this entrepreneurship crusade for 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years, I know that they've learned something. I also know they've made some money, they've had some success, but there's so many intricate things that take place inside of entrepreneurship that only time can grant you the wisdom to. And Jason L. Scott is one of those guys that you know, he's a people first type of person. I don't know if it's his experience in the military that made him, you know, really not a complainer. I don't think I've heard anyone say anything negative about this guy. He shows up, he gets it done. I don't even think I've heard him make any excuses about anything. He just shows up and he knows what it is that it takes to build not only a business, but also here in Total Life Changes. He's built a 7-figure business here. So that means TLC has paid him over $1 million in income. And he's built, you know, organizations all around the world, not just here inside the States. And actually, Miss Nikki that you just heard from is one of his personal leaders. So if you think you got something from that, wait until you see what he's about to talk about. I think he's going to go into edification. I don't know. But Jason, do we have you backstage?
Like money, pound, respect, eating right. Money, pound, respect, sleep at night. You'll see the light. Key to life. Money, pound, respect, needing life.
Yeah. Money, power, respect. What's going on, sir?
Hey man, I'm gonna be on here for 5 more seconds, man. I am literally ready to take notes. I know you about to bring the house down, man. Thank you so much for what you represent here inside the Rebirth, man. And I just know that, hey, listen, you could judge a fruit, you could judge a tree by the fruit it bears. And Nikki just tore the house down, and so I know you about to bring it. And thank you for everything. Thank you for your service as well. And go ahead, man. Take the call away. Teach these people. Let's take away the 7 figures. Can you teach them how to get to a strong 5-figure income, please, sir? Thank you so much.
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you, Mr. Darryl Drake. Such an amazing entrepreneur, business coach, leader, mentor to people all around the world as well. You know, he's right. We've known each other for many years. I actually met him in 2015. Time flies, Mr. Drake. It flies and it goes so fast that, you know, because over the last 10 years, we've done so many things together and apart. But time flies, they say, when you're having fun. And because in this company and in this industry, we've had a lot of fun. The time just, I mean, sometimes you'd be like, what, was it really that long? But yes, it's been since 2015, at the end of 2015, actually, when I first had a chance to be introduced to you and connect with you. This is the time. So thank you so much. And I appreciate you for all that you do, sir. You know, you're such an amazing gentleman, leader, coach, mentor, business professional, and I have the highest level of respect for you. And there's not no hype to it. It's the realness of it. It's a real thing that's felt. So thank you so much. All right, listen, guys, listen. You heard from some of the most amazing coaches and speakers already today. And what's important about that is that, you know, we always say leaders take notes, leaders study notes, leaders implement notes. But as you start to listen to each leader, your job is to take away some things. You never come to a meeting, you never go to an event without a clear intention on what you intend to take away from it. So today, as we're on this call today, and we know that we all have clear intentions on what we want, where we want to be, where we want to regain. We've listened to some of the most incredible people. Even just seeing them should put something inside you to make you just feel good. All right. One of the things I've always said, you heard Nikki say it a little while ago, that, you know, that you have to learn to go through the motions with the proper emotions. And that's why when Mr. Drake says, you know, I don't always complain a lot because I'm doing my best, like Nikki said, to check myself before I almost me get my headset wreck myself. I always have to check myself before I wreck myself. And it's not just a phrase that they've said in New York or in like back in the days, but it's a real thing. You can literally wreck yourself. That's why edification is always important. That's why edification and how you edify is really key. But the thing about edification, matter of fact, let me say it this way. As I was on this call, taking notes is a part of that edification, right? So as I'm listening to like Twyla, when she first started, she's like this. She's talking like this is V for victory. V for victory. When she first started off, of course, Darryl was talking in the very beginning, and he was talking about never get out of the stage of inviting and presenting. And of course, you know, Sonia, she dropped a lot of nuggets on launching and doing sales. But one of the key things she said about that is that even when it comes at the very end is I want to ask for your support, whether it's after the call or even if you're looking to just make a sale. Then of course, Nikki, who was saying that this whole process of these feelings and everything else. You know, when I say feelings, nothing more than feeling, trying to forget my feelings. So we go into these feelings and everything else that can really throw you off, and I really get it. But she said that it's really about understanding that people like to say it's me against everybody. You know, she's from Detroit, so Detroit already say, they already have a phrase, they say Detroit versus everybody already. That's why when she said she's going through all this other stuff, she's been conditioned since she was in Detroit that Detroit versus everybody. So I know, young lady, it's been a challenge at times, but she's been such a strong student of business, a student of self, that she learned to pull herself back into this frame, guys, and great things been able to happen for this young lady since that time. So I want to go into edification, right? Because, as a matter of fact, let me get ahead and set this timer here real quick, because I know I already started my presentation. But let me get this presentation in front of me. Now, what edification? What's edification? Edification simply is a form of talking highly about someone. And I want people to be in this space because based off of the world we are in and everything that we have, even though we say edification, you know, it empowers the recipient. It builds credibility for the speakers. As you heard Ms. Twyla Porter was saying, she made sure she came back and edified. I'm not going to say re-edified, but edified, Sonia Atchison. She made sure she did that. And listen, guys, in this space, when we are here, we know that when you build credibility, it's build credibility for the opportunity you're looking to present. You're exposing to someone else, and it shows unity in the team. Now, it builds credibility by using the success of your upline to gain credibility. We're in a date and age in 2025 where insecurities, comparison, culture, it throws people off. People are afraid that lifting someone else up, lifting somebody else. I remember I said edification is a form of talking highly about someone, but because we're in a space where this comparison culture, this insecurity culture, social media is dominated by highlights and reels and everything else, and people have a deep fear of being overshadowed by other people. So whenever we talk about celebrating others, even though I'm literally telling you, you have to understand it's a crisis of identity simultaneously. And because it's a crisis of identity, it's the values that you hold self that make you who you are. And if those insecurities and that comparison culture throws you off, you won't be able to move forward. So everything, when it comes to this, is knowing that you've got to edify so you can create the enthusiasm and the curiosity with a person that you're prospecting wants to meet your upline. Because once they meet your upline and they see that everything you said about them, you know what I'm saying, and then your upline edifies you back, or your senior business partner, write that down. Because sometimes we say upline, downline, but just put it in your mindset, they're like your senior business partner. They've been in longer than you. They may have had some results, more results than you, but just know that as your senior business partner, all right, that it's like back in the days when I used to be in martial arts, karate, kung fu, things like that, right? And we go to classes, and there were students that was in before me. They may not have been better than they may not have been better than me, even though I went from one karate to another karate, and I was with my skill sets, I was going to the next one. I was able to do things and be able to be competitive right out the gate. But I still knew that the senior people they were my senior brothers, my senior sisters. Didn't matter about how much they made or how long they were, how much success they had, how many awards they won. They were the seniors. So as your senior business partners, all right, when we edify you back, it brings credibility to you. And then of course, people, they're going to see how successful your upline is. You heard Daryl was talking about, he said a lot about myself, but because edification is like a hot potato, right? He gives it to me, I give it back to him. I give it to him, he gives it right back to me. It's not about when somebody brings the edification and they talk about you, you be like, yeah, I mean, yo, I'm just saying, yo, he right. I ain't gonna front, yo, he right. It's all good. We know that he right, you know what I'm saying? But you have to learn that it's a hot potato. Listen, I know he said a lot about me, but this gentleman, I know she said a lot about me, but let me tell you who she is. It's important that we learn that edification is important in that process. All right, so let me see here. So you got to be honest when you're edifying. You don't have to make things up. That's why when I'll edify Daryl, and it's a real thing, because I don't hold on to anything. Nothing about me. When things happen in my life, I don't hold on to a situation that I have going on and want to bring that to people. Yes, in any given moment, we might meet somebody and we may not be in a good mood based upon what's happening in life. All right. But I can't allow myself that because what's happening to me, that when I'm able to connect with somebody of the magnitude of a Daryl Drake, who's been edified so much in this industry and in this world and in everything else so far, that naturally when he as soon as he be like this, he posts online, people like, let me see what Daryl's doing. Let me see what he's doing. Because he's been edified already. And we all look to be edified at that space. But because he's been authentic, they know that when you edify him, that you're being honest, and you got to be honest in your process. So that when they meet you upline and they see that you haven't been honest, it won't take them long to figure it out. They don't want to be connected to that. So be real when it comes to that process. It builds confidence in yourself because you start to see success and hear other people start to that respect you, edify you. Let me tell you how important that is. I have people that have over the years, it's always happened. I even have people right now that I speak with that sometimes say, I can't, why do you see this in what you see in me? I don't even see this myself. I don't, but as time go on, they started going from, I don't really see it, to going, you know what? Thank you for that. Because at first, when somebody's edifying you and you don't have the confidence in yourself, because people, listen, we don't know what people have gone through in their lives. We don't know who's been tearing them down over time. We don't know whether it was their parents and they started off, so they've been indoctrinated since they were kids, whether it was teachers who were supposed to be uplifting, but could have been dehumanizing, whether it was students. We don't know how far back something can go back into a person's consciousness that allows them not to be able to receive when someone speaks highly about them. But I do know there's a phrase that I've said. How many times do you call a child his name before he or she knows it's his name or her name? Is it 10, 20, 1,000? We don't know. How many times you keep saying the name until then you may even say the name directly and they don't respond, but indirectly I could be talking to Darren like, yeah, because KK, and she'd be like, yes, and she's like, you be like, KK, oh my God, she knows her name. But up until that time, she may not be paying attention to it, may not catch it. So the same thing. When somebody edifies you, at first you may be like, yeah, but I don't know. But as someone keeps re-edifying you back, it starts to fill you up. And then you start to take that. And then that starts to go inside, then it starts to come back outside. Because everybody, when you first get started, is nervous. Everyone is nervous when they first get started in this. Even when we start these calls. Listen, many of us have been doing these calls. We've been doing trainings and calls forever. All right. Now we all scrambling before the call. We're like, what's going to happen? What's going on next? You know what I'm saying? Let me get my water. Let me get ready just in case. Let me get my mouth dry. We've been training forever. But even though we're good at this stuff, people can still be nervous. So we dope at this in real life and we can get nervous. A brand new person who's getting started in this industry, they're nervous as well. All right. So you have to understand that. So because they are, and when you edify, it helps reduce that nervousness. And then you will know that you have somebody in your corner who's fighting for you. You have somebody in your corner who's with you every step of the way. I do my very best because I want people to feel solid. Like I said, I don't know what they've gone through. I don't know what they had to grow through. I don't know what they've been through. I just know who I must be. I know that I made a promise to my mother the night before she passed away that I will always empower the lives of my people. And empowerment simply means enabling others to act upon that which they already know that they're truly destined for something great. You hear me, Mom? Listen, all that I ever hope to be, I owe it all to my mother. You hear me, Mom? I edified you, girl. I edified you, girl. Edified my mama. That's my mama, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Listen, girl, I edified you. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm a Betty. Yes, I am, girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, guys, in my process, in my space, I know that I want other people to feel greatness. I want other people to build. I want other people to feel great. Because when you first see your friends, like your people, this is the edification triangle. Your friends know you and they trust you, but they don't have no respect for you in this because they don't know you. See, our friends, we go tit for tat. you start talking to your friends, they be like, yeah, no doubt, but let me tell you this right here, because everybody's on the same playing field. So your friends sometimes may not even be listening to you. They think that they already know what you're talking. You ever had the friend you talking about? Yeah, I hear you say it, but let me tell you this. And they feel they have a solution for everything. You buying other people's opinions. You buy other people's opinions, you buy their lifestyle. And you recognize that when your friend trusts you trust each other, but they don't respect you for this. So when we edify, when you actually bring your friend to the expert, that bridges the gap of respect. And then now when your expert edifies you, when your expert starts to edify you, that has the same person who normally when you're talking like, right. Now they're like, Jason? Like, let me tell you who he is. Let me tell you for a fact. I remember when I first started in this industry, right? I used to hang around my friends. Of course, I would. Well, back then I had dreads. I know you guys can't listen. I know you guys can't fathom all this other stuff. I had dreads, real long dreads. I'm like everybody. I'm in New York. I'm from New York. We're in North Carolina. Everybody's still. That's when everybody was standing on where they from New York. I mean, from the Bronx, from the BX, son. I mean, family. I'm like in my 20s, like 30s. I'm still like, I'm your family. But I was in my early 20s when I first heard about this industry. And I remember going to around my friends. We all dreads, big coats, and in the wintertime, Timberland boots. And I go walking up to my friends, right? And I'm coming from a meeting. But my friends already know that I've always been me. I've always been a person that I listen to folk music, I listen to rock music, I listen to country music. I'm eclectic when it comes. I listen to salsa, I listen to Latin music, I listen to opera, all these different things. I listen to everything, right? Because they all make me feel some type of way. So when I'm showing up to my friends and I come walking up and I have my suit on, I'm all sleek. Actually, no, I wasn't sleek back then because I didn't know about how to have them taper on the inside. But I'm still walking up in my suit, coming up, seeing my friends. They like, look at Deacon Dr. Love. Look at Reverend Scott. My friends want to joke me. They want to joke on me, right? I'm like, yo, how y'all gonna play me? But I'm still like, yeah, all right, it's all good. Deacon Dr. Love, Reverend Scott. You know why? Because they trusted me. We go out to the club. They know I'm gonna hold them down. They know I'm coming to be the one to pick everybody up. So they know they can go to sleep. They can be drunk. I'm never drinking, so I'm always the one driving so they can trust me. But when it came to business, they tell me you gonna do what? Deacon Dr. Love, Reverend Scott. You know what I'm saying? They want to joke me because I got my suit and tie on, Pamela. But when I had edified, I actually had this house. I built this house about 30 years ago, all right? And I actually had my friends come here because I edified the speaker, the person who was going to do my presentation. And when they came in and he was telling them about who I was and what, because they didn't see that side of me, that I'm at these trainings, I'm in personal development, personal growth. So while he's talking, they like, I'm like this, right? I'm taking over. I see they're like this. Now they know me, but they looking at me like, word? Because word is how you conversate. You know what I'm saying? You be like, your word, say word. So they like, word. So by the time we're done, they're like, yo, son, I didn't know you was like this. They're like, you know what? Yeah, I want to be a part of this. I had my friends that joined me in business back then because I edified someone else who came in and spoke on my behalf. All right. So the main thing you got to be doing when you're new to this is edify your upline, right? And get people in front of them. Now your upline is going to help get your people registered, move them through the business, get things happening. It's going exactly right, guys. Right? It's going to help them go in there. There's 4 points of edification, right? And there's 4 points. And the reason why this is important because there's different personality styles. It's 4 main. There's different things that people can go deep into. I've learned them. Some of us just learn it naturally as we're interacting with people. Some of us will learn it based off of someone may educate you on it or something may show up. But when I've learned it like in fish. I learned it in colors. Some people like Twyla likes to teach it in jewels, things like that. But it's personality styles, all right? And the main thing that when you're talking about the 4 people, you'll know them. And I'm going to go brief into it, but you'll understand. So when you edify, the reason why you edify saying these things, even if you don't know what all else to say, you could say, listen, this person, Miss Twyla Porter, she knows 100% of the information. And in case you guys didn't know, that's my personal sponsor. She's like dope in real life. That's a sidebar. I'm gonna get back to it in a second. But she's dope in real life, yo. Word up, Mr. Dr. Twyla Porter. She's the truth with an F. TRUF. Matter of fact, put 3 F's on that. TRU. Matter of fact, in the comment section, type TRUFFF. She's the truth. And her sponsor, Daryl Drake. Matter of fact, let me give you a glamour shot for Daryl Drake. See, Daryl Drake is the real deal. Right? He's the truth. Give me a truth up in there. All right. Now the thing is this. When you say this, when you edify people, you say they know 100% of the information. That means you're going to be talking to people that all they may want is that. You will know them a lot of times when you're speaking to someone who is information-based. They don't really care all about all the extra pleasantries and things. They just want to know everything they can know. They want to know the cycle. They want to know the flow. They want to know the charts. A lot of times, many of them may be in IT professions or something where they're on a computer and they understand the diagrams and the chart and all this other stuff. But when you're speaking to them, they may not be people whose hands are flying all over the place. You may go through an entire presentation. They say, let me get more information. You give them information. They want more information. So when you say this person knows 100% of the information, in their mindset, when you're talking about everything else, all they knowing is, okay, great. I'm going to talk to the person that's going to give me all the information. Then you say to them also, this person loves helping people. Now, when they hear that right there, now they're talking. The people who love helping people, the ones who are already, them, when they're talking, I tell them they may be touching themselves. They're like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like when we used to call them like, when I learned it as fish, we would say they're like whales, right? And you know how whales be like, oh, it's like, oh. So like, so people who love helping people, because they touchy feely, we are the world, we are the few. They just love helping people. So when they hear that in their mindset, I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying, when you say it, we say, listen, this person makes some serious income. These are the people, they don't care about all the other stuff. They want to get right to the money, right to what's going on. Tell me how to make money. Tell me how this thing gonna work. They may talk fast, they may be quick. They don't want to hear all the extra pleasantries, information. They'll figure that stuff out along the way. The help, yeah, I know. Yeah, service and many music leads is great. Now, yeah, but how can I make the money? But they are people that when they hear that, and you say this person makes some serious income. Now, serious can be anything. Serious can be enough gas money they made to get themselves moving for the day. It ain't about serious because they made $100,000. If you broke right now, broke is different things to different people. Whether you're at $200 a week or $2,000 a week, if you don't have enough income at the end of your responsibilities, you absolutely broke. Now, it's okay to be broke. It's not okay to stay that way. And staying that way is a choice. And a choice is a voluntary act of doing that which is preferred. So when someone says to you, listen, make serious income, in their mindset, and I say to make serious, that $25 was serious to them. They could have made $20 for selling the product, enough to put food on the table, to feed their children, feed their grandchildren. An extra 20 on top of what they need to have, because they say you got to have all of this or you're going to get evicted. All of this will be taking a car. An extra $20, we need everything. That extra 20 could have tapped onto the extra 280, all right, and made it 300 exactly, and they got what they got to get. So it's serious. Then they love to have fun. Person love to have fun as a personality like myself, even though I've learned to be a comedian and all these different things, as we all should. I'm a person that if I'm not having fun, as I say, you have more fun, you get more work done. I gotta have fun in this process. It's kind of like I'm the type of person I used to be like, you be like, hey, I'm at the club. Hey, what's going on? Yo, what's your sign? Huh? No. I'm from the Bronx, from the BX. You know what I mean? Huh? Tomorrow? Yeah, we can get together tomorrow. What time is it? Yeah. Hey, everybody, throw your hands up. Blow the whistle. See, I want to have fun, and I'll get to the meeting tomorrow. But right now, if you got to tell me, I got to have some fun in the process. All right? Now, edification by actions. Being on time, arriving early, that shows honor. Taking notes and paying attention. Everybody always says, Mr. Scott takes a lot of notes. Yeah, because I already know myself, for one. you start getting all this information. There's no way that you can't remember it all. Can't retain it all. I take notes. When you listen, do me a favor. Write in your paper. Take notes. Take notes with the intention on teaching. You take a different set of notes when you know you have to teach the thing that you're taking notes on. You take a different set of notes. You have to, when you know you got to teach it, because if I'm just talking, you'd be like this, right. But when I say, listen, I'm going to give you some training. And at the end of the training, I'm going to give you $100,000. I'm going to give you up to $100,000. That means I'll give you $1,000. I'm talking about 100 things. I'm going to give you $100 for everything that I talk, $1,000 for everything that I talk about. Right? And for every one thing I talk about, I'm going to give you $1,000. The whole time I'm talking, I promise you're going to be just like this. Somebody start trying, you like, no. You don't want to hear nothing else. You want to be you don't want to be distracted, because in your mindset, I'm going to get, by the end of this, I'm going to get $100,000. But the people on this call are giving you the information that can get you the same $100,000. The people who are training you right now giving you the same thing that can get you to that $100,000. So take notes with the intention on teaching, because when you start building an organization, you want to be able to teach these things. Volunteering is edification by actions. Offering to do presentations, rallying behind one another, returning your upline's call. That means when we're calling, don't be like, like myself. Listen, I was on the trainer call, right? After my trainer call, my people talking to me, and the phone I just happened to see it. I'm like, hey, Dr. Twyla, I'm on a call. I'm on a training call right now with my group. Can I call you back as soon as I'm done? Yeah, I could have actually waited. I could have called her back later, but I wanted my people to see that I honor my sponsor enough that I'm like, slow your roll. Hold one. Hello? Yes, ma'am. No, I wanted them to see that I honor who she is. I honor what she brings to the table. I honor that process. Did you need me right now? Because she would have said yes. I said, yo, Nikki, you take the call. I got to take this call from my sponsor, because that's edification by my action. Let my honor shows itself. I let it be. It's not just a thing that I say. It has to be an expression of my greatest love that I have, is to lead by the actions. So when she called me, I'll stop. I'll drop. I'm on the call right now. I got to take this call. I'll call you right back. My sponsor's calling me. Some of you guys be like, I'll get with them when I get with them. Nah, nope, no, not in my mindset. No. Exactly right. How you treat your sponsors, how your people treat you. Exactly right, Dr. Twyla Portis. Yeah. Listen, guys, you heard it. I can end it. As soon as she typed that, I can end it right now. My sponsor has spoken. There's nothing else to say after that. Okay, I'm gonna give you some more stuff. All right. Okay, Twyla, is it okay? Give him something else. Okay, great. All right, keep your word. Doing what you said you were going to do. Commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the mood that you have set it in has left you. So make sure that you keep your word. Edification by actions. Building for events. This is an event. Did you build for it? I put it in my group. I sent text messages. I'm calling people. I'm like, listen, people are going to do what they got to do, but you have to build for events. You're going to get paid. You're going to get paid for selling products. You're going to get paid for recruiting people. You're going to get paid for building events. The more people who come to the event and they get turned on, they get the energy back up, they're going to produce income for themselves, which in turn produce income for you. So how many people you have on this event? How many people on your team do you have on this call right now? Register them for the events first. Don't always wait, because many times, especially if there's an event that's paid for, your contributions can help them recap. Because in an event, when we say go online and pay for it, we all have to pay for the event together. That's not Twyla's event. It's our event. It's my event, her event. So if she puts her credit card on file, Latasha wouldn't put a credit card on file. Dow Drake put his credit card on file. He pays for it in advance, or pay for it in advance, and that means that all of our contributions go back to him recouping what he put onto it, but it's not his event, it's our event. So we all have to take responsibility for the fact that it's our event. So you register first. Participate in meetings by clapping hands and nodding. That means a lot of times we be on these calls and we in an event and somebody's talking to you like this. Now, granted, I know that some people are thinking, But we also feed from the actions of other people. We feed from the energy. If we're talking and you're not paying attention, people will not give you no energy back. It almost have you like, your mouth start getting dry. You be like, hey, that ever happened to you, Dr. Twyla Portis or Nikki or Sonia? It ever happened when you start talking to everybody like, and you like, it'll make you forget because now you're training, but you're thinking about what you're thinking about. So now you find yourself, instead of giving the information, you're like, So guys, as leaders, we bring the energy. It's like that dry mouth with an F. We bring the energy, right? Whenever somebody's speaking, and if you got your videos on, that's showing respect as well, right? Because other guests and things, they're on the calls. Your leader need to see you're on the call, need to see you're taking notes, all right? Bring in documents and products. That means when you come to an event, don't be like, who got some tea? No, you bring some stuff for your people when they get there. Stop always looking for other people to do it for you when you are a business owner yourself. Bring your products. Because now the thing is this, when you don't bring your products, then you're gonna get mad when I'm selling my products to your people. You're gonna be like this, you got something, you're gonna break me off. No, I'm not breaking off nothing with an F. N-U-F-L, I'm not breaking off nothing. No, I came here, you should have products on hand. I'm gonna sell my products. So make sure that you come to an event, so after you got your guests, they can actually get the products from you, all right? Or they're gonna get it from me and you're gonna watch me as I walk off with my pockets fatter, period. All right, now this is de-edification by actions. Arriving late. If an event is, they say get back in at a certain time, arriving late from the event, from the break, or arriving late to the meeting, arriving late, being the last one to show up. If we say the call's going to start at a time and you logging on 5 and 10 minutes later, you may have missed. A lot of times we'll set the whole thing up. We'll set up the call in the first 4 or 5 minutes. And by the time we setting the call up, by the time you log in, it's going to take you 5 to 10 minutes for you to kind of catch up and figure out where we at, what's going on. Just like getting to a movie. You know how you get to a movie? You know why I like getting to a movie on time? Because if I get to the movie 5 minutes after it started, I'm watching it, but for a while, for the first 5 to 10 minutes, my brain is trying to tap in and trying to figure out what I may have missed. What am I trying to think about what I may have missed. Now I can't wait till the movie over so I can get on social media and see if somebody got the intro of the call on YouTube or something. You got me? So the same thing here. Get there early so it shows respect. It shows that you respect your leadership when you show up on time and you're there. So when people walk in, don't always try to be fashionably late. You want to be able to you want to walk in like this is a runway show for you. You want to be the last one to come in like you want to glide across. Money. You want to be able to glide in. Stop with all the trying to glide in. Let your people when they walk in, they go, oh, my leader's here early. Let me be here early. All right. Be early and be on time and stop trying to always glide in with the theme song playing in the back of your head. Money. Because you wait for everybody to take photos of you. All right, don't do that right there. Taking notes. All right, not taking notes and not paying attention. When your leader's speaking, everybody always tell you I'm taking notes. You know why? Because that's honoring them. I want my team to see me taking notes. I want them seeing everything that you trainings that you've been getting. A lot of us who've trained, we didn't just make this stuff up. A lot of us have got these notes from some other person back in the days, and we're retraining on things that I'm retraining on things that I was taught back in when I got into the industry 30 years ago. It's been set in my mindset because Daryl was saying I may have learned it when I was in the military. I learned a lot of things when I was in the military, but I was a little bit different back then because I was just leaving New York. I was like a kid who for the first time got a chance to be out on their own. There's a pastor's child, and also now you in the world wilding out. In the Army, I was in the Army, but in my mindset, I was in a different place. Network marketing, personal development got me to a whole nother space of how to take things. So that's why I'm saying when you're taking these notes, I want to show respect. Also, de-edification, interrupting your upline during the meeting. When they're talking, yeah. Matter of fact, tell them about this, right? Tell them about that time when. No, don't do that. We're in a flow. If Daryl is talking, he's on the floor. I'm like, yeah, Daryl, don't forget. Now, because sometimes we may jump in and say something. We hate that we have to do it. If we like in a training call with other leaders, we all kind of saying things so they can say something. But normally, if your leader's speaking and talking, and we only do it then if they was said this is okay to do that. But normally in a meeting, no, don't jump in over them. Don't jump in when they talk. Also, Daryl, tell them about this right here. Don't forget to tell them about how it's going to take out parasites. Oh yeah, it take out parasites too, y'all. It take out parasites too, y'all. No, don't do that. Do not do that right there. All right. Don't interrupt them when they're doing a three-way call. If they're talking, if you edify me as an expert and I'm talking, and now you start going, yeah, don't forget to tell them about that, because I told you that this is for everybody. I'm like, Miss Scott, back to you. I done hung up the phone. Because once you de-edify me, I'm no longer the expert. What am I on a phone call for if I'm talking and you start talking over me? All right. If I just edify Daryl, I'm like, yeah, good Daryl. Because let me tell you one thing. Because also, the T, if I start de-edifying and talking over him, what's his purpose on the three-way call? So make sure you don't interrupt. Missing leadership and training calls, not returning your uplines calls, taking like your phone out, presentations. Even when Twyla was saying earlier, she's like, yeah, listen, why you guys are not posting? And my mindset, because a lot of times I'm taking notes, and I get it. I went in there at social media. Trust me, supporters, I get it. But for me, I'm always like, and because I'm a person that if I get out of my thought process, like I said, if I leave and I come back, it may be a moment before I catch back up, or I'm taking notes and you give me 5 things, and now I'm doing something else. And by the time I come back, I'm like, and you'll see people in the meetings. What was number 2? What was number 3? Well, you know why? Because they was texting, doing something else, not paying attention. All these things are important and being locked in when you're when there's a presentation of training. Now we're almost about to wrap this call up. Arguing with your upline and downline in public, that's de-edification. You may have some conflict. Trust me, I get it. Pull them to the side. You guys have a conversation to the side. Don't be in public. Well, you told me, and you should have been on the call. Well, I told you that I had to. Never let your organization see you in that space. Our ability to move you and move your people is a direct. Listen to me. My ability to move your people is a direct correlation to how well you edify me. If you de-edify, they don't hear nothing else. You de-edify me, they don't hear nothing I'm talking about after that. You don't hear nothing else that's talking about. So do not edify, don't edify, don't de-edify by arguing with your upline in public. You guys can have disagreements and talk about it offline, talking negative about your upline or downline with each other and other people's people, which is your cross line. That kills your organization. If you're with your leader, you're with one of your people on your team, and now you call me and you're de-edifying me in front of that person, they no longer have that respect that they trusted you, but now you bridged by edifying me, you brought some respect. Now you've broken that respect. So now when I'm talking, they like, yeah, all right, Now I can't move them. And there's no need for me I can't do anything no more because you de-edify me in front of your person. You told them how great I was, but then when they hear you, I know, listen, we in this space where it's a challenge to be in this space. I get it. We have to allow ourselves to understand these are rules that you cannot break. All right. And then leaving the room when the speaker's being introduced, you can't tell a person this is a great speaker. Then when they're about to be introduced, you're running off. You're getting up out and you're disappearing. No, stay there in that process. Because when you get into a routine of edifying people, guys, it becomes a habit. And it becomes something that you do all through your life. That's when Daryl said, did I learn it back then? I learned it a long time ago. It's become a habit. All right. It's something that I learned let it be habitual to me. We all have to have a habitual vision of greatness, because inside of each and every one of us are the cellular memories of generations of survivors and fighters, and those who have died and those who would not die, so that we can be free. So for me, when I'm edifying, when I'm knowing that we build this whole organization, I know that it makes a difference, not just in the business, but in my personal life. I know that people will notice the difference. You heard that's what Daryl. People will notice the difference. They will notice it, and you will start attracting other positive people in your life as well. Because when you keep on, I hate this ain't working. I hate this. When you start to hate, you secretly conspire against that which you hate on an unconscious level. And because Nikki told you, this business is psychological. There's a lot that goes in with you understanding that once you start to edify, don't de-edify. Don't break that chain. Don't let that become a habit. Have a habitual vision of greatness and allow yourself to be able to be the leader that other people will follow. So I appreciate all you guys for logging on to this call today. Being a part of this with me on this training call meant everything for me. I pray that I brought some value to yourself, to your family, to your organization. And without further ado, let me turn it back over to Dr. Twyla Portis.
Man, just Absolutely incredible information. Jason, I was obviously, taking notes and just listening. Like, that is the entire meat and potatoes of building, network marketing. And because network marketing is built on people, and when you understand the personalities of people and you understand edification of all these things, and I'm pretty sure there are people on here, it's like, wow, I didn't know that was edification, showing up to the call early. Wow, I didn't know that was edification, paying, getting my reservation or getting my ticket first. Oh, wow, I didn't know that was edification, sitting on the edge of my seat, clapping, Oh, wow, I didn't know it was edification, that when someone goes up to speak, that I'm down on my phone, pulling up the news or pulling up social media, right? Wow, I didn't know it was edification of taking notes, all of it. Like, just imagine if you start doing all of that.
Yes.
How powerful not only you, but what you're connected to would be. Imagine if all of us, was 280 people on here. Imagine if all of us start doing that. And just the 280. Let's not even talk about the 500-600 people, however many people's in the group, right? What would happen? Oh, I didn't know it was edification. I'm supposed to learn the presentation and serve. I'm supposed to be the host. I'm supposed to be calling my sponsor, calling the leadership saying, you know what? I want to host the call.
Yeah.
Please put me up, right? But here's the thing. Because of the de-edification of the weekly calls, right? Because of the de-edification of the Saturday trainings, nobody's clamoring at the bits of saying, I want to host, please.
Yes.
I can remember, Jason, being in a particular organization. Man, if you got a phone call to host, it was just like, Lord, I have just, seen God's face, right? So it's our responsibility, everybody on here, to edify, our university. Do you know how much time and effort and money it took to build that? And there's nobody else in TLC that have its own university. Are we talking about that on a daily basis? Are we saying, man, have you seen the Rebirth University? Right? Ashley, who's running this back line, like, normally we do our Saturday trainings on Zoom. Man, we done stepped it up a notch, right? Jake was like, hey, how you want to host it on StreamYard? I was like, absolutely. All edification. Man, so that was so great. And even the de-edification, it's funny because, if Drake calls me and I can't pick up, I'm texting him in the middle of another call. Hey, I'm on a Zoom real quick. Or, hey, I'm on a call. I'll call you right back. So I'm letting him know I'm not just ignoring you. I'm on a call. Right. And that's really any of my leaders. I'm like, hey, I'm on a call. I'll call you right back. So that is so important to make sure that we implement these things that was just talked about. We implement the things that Nikki talked about because they're all so important and they're conducive for you building a successful business. They're conducive for you building a successful business. So really quick before I bring up our coach, who's going to obviously bring up the next speaker, there's some things on here that I was going to train on, but I really want to take the time really quickly to talk about personalities. And Jason talked about it in the form of, three-way calls, or when you're introducing someone or edifying someone, you're picking up all four of the personalities. But I also want to, I always train in gems, right? Rubies and sapphires and emeralds and pearls, because I'm a girl. I love gems. I don't know any girl out there that doesn't like, fine gems. But, when you talk about a ruby personality, here is why this is important. It's not just important for the edification. It's very important for that because you're hitting all personalities. But guys, it's important for you to understand who people are as you are building your organization. You can't talk to everybody the same way. You just can't, right? And so when you learn that, and even when you're prospecting, right, or you're following up, when you understand personalities, you're going to know exactly what to say to hit the buttons of the person that you are talking to. So therefore, sometimes even I am guilty of it, I'll, say the same things to all the people, and I fall out of what I know, and I know better than that. Right. And so the Ruby personality, is that person that is motivated by a challenge. The Ruby personality is the person who loves to earn money. It's the person that is goal oriented. It's the person that says, listen, we said we were gonna, recruit 50 directors. That's what we're gonna do. I don't want to hear nothing else. Right? They are very focused and very driven, and a Ruby personality doesn't really care a lot about the facts, and they're not always going to be the person that's going to be on time, so to speak. Right? That Ruby is very, very and can come off rude sometimes. Right? And they don't mean to be, but when you understand that that's the personality, you don't take it personal. Okay. My sponsor is a Ruby, right? He'll hit me up, such as that, and send me a text, and I'll look at it and say, because I already know his personality. So I don't take it personal. He's not going to give me a whole lot of words, right? My husband of 25 years was a Ruby. Big Irwin used to say, tell me what you got to tell me in 3 words or less. Now I want to have a whole drawn out conversation, but I understand who I'm working with and who I'm dealing with. And so therefore they're Ruby. Latasha is a Ruby personality. Okay. Direct, curt, straight, and again, when you understand that, you give grace in that space. Now, I'm not saying somebody's supposed to just beat you up and walk on you like you're a doormat, but because I've taken time and I have understood personalities of people, and I could be talking to them for a quick 2-3 minutes and I already know their personality. Ruby, right? That's the personality, right? And so understand that. Make sure you can look in your group, look in your organization, look at the leaders you have, and you can determine who they are. So therefore, you know how to work with them. Ruby personalities, set up a challenge and say, well, I don't know, Drake, you might not be able to do this one. This one may be a little bit too much for you. Watch what happens. Right? He'll look at the leaderboard and be like, nah, I'm tired of them being at number 1. It's time for me to go ahead and knock them out the box. Right? They're motivated by a challenge. And so you know what and how and what to say, but more importantly, you know how to coexist with them and get the best out of them. Okay. And then, obviously you have, your emeralds. Those are the people that are motivated by the facts. They want the facts. You cannot tell an emerald, man, listen, you don't need the facts. Stories sell, facts tell. They don't want to hear that at all. Give me the facts. That's my personality. Sometimes they're slow to get going, but once they have the facts, they're going to go like never before. Right? Sonia is an emerald. Right? Sonia is like, hey, Sonia is a Ruby too, but everybody has all of the personalities. A lot of times it's what you're dominant. Okay. Emeralds want facts. Okay. And emeralds are power. They're pretty much power dressers. Right. They're very organized and they're very timely, and they want to know, what's happening next before it happens. So when you know that and you have that in your group, don't de-edify it. Don't tell them, you don't need all the facts. No, give it to them. Let them know, hey, you know what? We've got all the facts is in our resource tab in the back office, right? You want the facts about the GLP-1? Here you go. Boom. Send it to them. Send them what's in it. What's the ingredients? Guys, I promise you. If somebody right now put a gun to my head, Drake, and said, give me all of the ingredients that's in the ISO detox tea, I would not know. I would not know. All I know is chamomile, I don't know if we have papaya in there. We used to have like blessed thistle. I don't know. It's not my personality. I don't want all the facts. I don't know. But I still made $15 million. I don't know, but I still went to national director a second time around. I don't know. I still was able to recruit some of the top people in the industry, top people in network marketing. But that's me. So when you get to know me, you're gonna know what things, you know, push my buttons, what things get me excited, what things get me inspired. But don't de-edify, man. I can't believe she don't even know what's in the product. No. I don't. All I know is when people drink it, they lose 5 pounds fast. That's all I know. So guess what? When people ask me, Jason, well, what's in the tea? Girl, I don't know. All I know is when I drink it, the next morning I have a great experience. You know, right now I'm about 12 pounds lighter. That's all I know. Guess what? That's a story. Guess what? I can still recruit people that way. Right? I mean, Jason, when he started talking about the NRG, there's an ingredient that is in the NRG. And, you know, sometimes I try to remember it and I can't even remember it. Can't even remember it right now. And guess what I'll say? I'll say, well, I just know it makes you happy. So what am I saying? Personalities and the way that you share, it's all okay. Okay, it's all okay. Don't de-edify or make someone feels less than because they're not like you. Give them the grace and give them the thing that they are good at, right? So sapphires are people, right? Sapphires know how to build relationships. Sapphires actually loves to have fun. Okay, they're going to bring the community, the support, the love, the excitement, the happiness to the organization. Jason, Jason is a sapphire, but does that mean he don't know what he's doing? No. Does he like to have fun? Yes. Right? Jay Atchison, sapphire. How do I know? Because I recognize them a mile away. They like to have fun. Right? And so therefore, you know, so when you know that, you say, hey, listen, Jay, man, we're going to have events. There's going to be music, man. We'll be able to dance, have a great time. And he's like, oh, I'm in. Hey, Jason, man, listen, you know, our team, our community, our organization, man, listen, we have a whole lot of fun. Man, you could be you. You know, you could have a good time. We're going to have a ball. Jason, I'm in. Let's go. Okay. Sapphires, motivated by fun. Sapphires love to connect. They love relationships, right? They know how to inspire and bring people together, right? Sapphires, they're going to be the ones that say, hey, let's do a retreat. Hey, let's do a super Saturday. Hey, let's go to corporate. Hey, they're going to be the ones that's going to make sure we're going to have some events. We're going to have some fun. Is this making sense to y'all? Okay. Again, we have all the personalities, but it is what's dominant. And then lastly, the pearls. Pearls are the people who love helping people. Did you hear Jason when he was saying, hey, you know what? When we're edifying, make sure you hit every personality, right? Have 100% of the information. Oh, that's a ruby. Okay. Loves helping people. Oh, that's a pearl. Have all of the facts. Oh, that's an emerald. Okay. And what did I miss? And loves to have fun. Oh, that's a sapphire. So he's in the introduction. You got all these people in the audience. Oh, you might have 10 people that's listening, but there's somebody that say, oh yeah, that's me. I like to have fun. Oh yeah, that's me. I like the facts. Oh yeah, that's me. I'm motivated by a challenge. I like to make money, right? Oh, that's me. I like helping people. But you bring that to your organization as well. So the pearl likes to help people. You can recognize them. They usually are people who like to recycle. Pearls are typically very mild-mannered in nature. Pearls are typically people who are very spiritual, okay? Sometimes pearls have a hard time charging full price for their products. Sometimes pearls get pushed over by rubies. Okay, Ruby, you're like, we'll cross that bridge and we'll get to it. I don't want to talk about that. But when you recognize, then you can give grace. When you recognize, you can inspire. When you recognize, you know exactly what to say to each person to get the best out of each of them. And yes, I love building relationships. Yes, I love being able to master this so that we can get the best out of the people that we're connected to. So I just wanted to, obviously take that, into our organization so that, as Jason was talking about edification and what de-edifies, also you got to understand the personalities, because if you don't, you're going to de-edify people. Okay, that have the potential to bring your organization together. So guess what? Not that I don't want to get better, not that each of us should get better. We all want to get better, but I know that I have a Sonia on my team that's going to be like, "Hey, sis, I got you," right? Sonya gonna make sure she's gonna always come and she's gonna always be on point. She's gonna always be on the back line. She's gonna always be cocked and ready. I know I got her. I know she's there. I know there's a Jason who's gonna bring the fun. He's gonna, we depending on what we're doing. I don't have to worry. Oh, Jason got the music. I don't have to worry. Jason's gonna, do the training. I know who they're there. I don't have to worry about a Latasha who's going to be like, "Okay, Twyla, what's the challenge? Here we go. Ain't nobody got time to play." Right? I know she's going to have a whole calendar of things already planned out. So all I got to do is, "Hey, where you want me?" Right? And so therefore, when you have each of these personalities in your group, I know there is, although Drake is not in my group, I'm in his, but I know there's a Drake that's strategizing. "Hey, TP, we need a system. I'm gonna be gone for a week and a half, and I'm putting our system together." So guess what? When you allow the people in your group to soar in their space, that's less that you have to think about and less that you have to do. And guess what you do? You soar in your space. So now everything is covered. Okay, it's all covered. Makes sense? So everybody's not going to be just like you, but you're going to find somebody that's going to say, "Oh, you know what? They got it. I love that they can bring the fun. Oh, you know what? They got it. I love they can bring all the facts and everything that we need as an organization. Oh, you know what? They got it. I love that they can, that they're gonna that they're gonna be motivating, gonna talk about the money and how we're gonna get to the money." Okay, right? So anyway, so there we are. I'm going to bring Coach Drake back up to the platform. Coach Drake. Coach Drake, are you there?
Here. Listen.
There it is.
Listen. You could have just wrapped it up with that. That was amazing. I was over here like taking notes, and yeah, that was great. And I think it's just so important to understand who you're talking to, because sometimes you can say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. So a part of this being psychological, as Nikki talked about, is that you need to know how to talk the language of the person that you're talking to. And so that's amazing. And so we're not done. As we wrap this thing up, we got two more phenomenal people that you all are going to hear from. And the next lady, I'm really, I really want to call her the Quiet Storm, because many of you all, this is going to be your first introduction to her. But let me tell you something: she's not new to the industry of network marketing. She's not new to the Rebirth. She's actually one of the first people that actually enrolled with me directly inside of the Rebirth. She's knocked out the rank of executive director. She is based out of the Cayman Islands. She's been able to not only have success personally, but just duplicate her success inside of her organization. She has, tons of entrepreneurs out there that she's empowering to kind of help crusade this TLC journey. But even outside of that, she's an entrepreneur. She's ran multiple businesses, a salon, a clothing store. She's literally making it happen. And I chose to have her to come to talk to you because I know, especially because of what is taking place over the last month in our business, bringing in people in groups that are not just inside of the states, but also now outside of the states. I think it's important that we hear from someone who's been able to successfully build a six-figure business here inside of TLC. This is her second time, and now she's on track to do the same thing, if not bigger, once again. And so I thought that it was important that we hear from someone that is actually making it happen. You hear about the shipping and you hear about, oh, you know, people here don't have money and I don't know if it works. And listen, this lady is making it happen, right? Part time. Making this thing happen. I love watching when she has her meetups. I don't know if she has the meetups every single weekend or not, but you know, she's having meetups and she's with dozens of people showing the product and sampling the product. And so I needed you guys to hear from her. So as you're bringing in people and organizations in other countries, you know how to make it happen. And so without further ado, do we have Kimona Forbes? Let's go ahead and bring her on stage.
Right, I really need time. I need to free mind now.
What's up?
Hello. What's going on to my Rebirth family? Coach Del Drake, you know I love you to death. This was a last minute thing. I had to write down my notes. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get it done. But first, I want to, give a big shout out to the Rebirth family. Wherever you're watching, it might be day, night, wherever you're tuning in from. We are grateful to have every single one of you.
Well,
All
listen,
right,
I'm about to let you take this thing away. Yeah, give me 5 seconds. You ready? You look amazing, and I know you're about
Thank
to just
you.
pour into the group. So I just want to say I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you, and I know what's next for you. I know what's happening inside your organization, and it is your time right now. And so go ahead, take the call away.
Hello, guys. Hope you all are having an amazing day or night. As I mentioned before, wherever you're tuning in from, I'm not able to see the chat right now, but that's okay. If someone can allow me to see the chat so I can see what everyone is saying. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm from the Caribbean, guys. We love music. We live by music. So I need to play my own little tune since I didn't get any of that. All right. So I'm not seeing the chat. I would love to see the chat to see what everyone is saying. So I'm just going ahead and play my own intro. All right.
Something good gonna happen in this year, and I'm grateful that I made it here.
So, okay, I'm seeing the chat, guys. I want you to drop in the chat. How are you feeling today? Where you're tuning in from? All right. As the music is saying, I am grateful to be here. Let's go, guys.
I gotta find me. Oh, yeah. I'm missing money, gonna find me.
All right, I'm seeing Sierra. Let's do it. Jay, I'm seeing you. Let's go, Monica. Yes. I'm loving it. All right, guys. So, as Coach Del Drake introduced me earlier, my name is Kimona Forbes. I'm living in the Cayman Islands, and I'm just going to jump right into it. There are 4 words that I'm going to talk about today. All right. And the first word is image, right? As y'all can see, image. All right. I am big on image, guys. Whether it's an in-person image or your social media image, it is very, very, very important, especially in this industry that we are, which is the online network marketing industry, right? So I have a question for you guys. If you go on your social media right now, would you go into business with the person that you see? Right? I'm going to repeat that again. If you go on your social media right now, would you go into business with the person that you see? I'm just going to let that sit a little bit. Okay, so image is very, very important. And I mean, I'm not telling you to go and break the bank to, you know, look apart or whatever. But I mean, this jacket I have on is I can't really remember, but I think probably is like 50 something dollars, right? Having an amazing image, it helps with your business because as I've mentioned before, if you go on your social media, would you go into business with a person that you see? And I'm sure probably if you do that, you know, after this call or whatever, looking on your social media from a different perspective, I'm sure at that time you're like, damn, you know what? I probably could change this, or I probably could change that, right? You will then start to see the things that, you know, you can improve on, the areas, whether it's the quality of the picture, whether it's some, you know, better outfit, whether it's a you know, new hairdo. I mean, some of us probably have the same hairdo for the last 2 years, right? Probably some of you don't know what it feels like to be in a straight hair, or, you know, something curly or whatever. You have the same image probably for the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and some of you probably it's been 5 years, right? So it's necessary, guys, to change our image every now and then. All right, so slow progress is better than no progress when it comes on to image. Okay, so that's the first word. We're done. The second word that I'm going to touch on is recruiting. Okay. When you bring someone into the business, and this is something personal I'm going to discuss right now. So one of my business partner, she brought someone into business. I've met the person. The person was very excited. You know, a couple weeks into the business, I say, you know what? Let me hit up, you know, my business partner. So I remember I was cooking in the kitchen that evening. I called her. I'm like, what's going on with this person? Is she taking her products? So my business partner said to me, she's not sure. That I did not like, right? So I'm like, that's something you should know. If the person that you brought into the business, if they're taking the products or not. So that simply means you're not checking in with the person that you brought into the business, right? She then said she's not excited like when she just joined. And I said to her, whatever you did or say to get her to join the business, get her to say yes to join you in business, I want you to do more of that, to keep that person or whosoever into the business. Okay, guys, sometimes I know I'm not telling you guys to babysit, you know, your business partners, and I don't want our business partner to expect us to babysit you guys because we're all adults, right? But don't forget your why. Don't forget the reason why you went out and, you know, you search for a business partner. You're trying to build your organization. You're trying to make an impact. Let's not forget about the people and the reason why we started. Okay, and remember, guys, some of the other leaders have mentioned that, you know, Coach Twyla Portis have mentioned that Coach Dale Drake have put some amazing things, resources, and tools in place to help us with our business. And one of those things are the Rebirth app. Guys, like, Coach Dale Drake I would not say he went out of his way, because he wants the best for us. This is our visionary we're talking about, right? So he's going to invest into this organization for all of us to win. Okay, so when you bring someone into the business, and I'm not even talking about who you're bringing into the business, some leaders probably are not even plugging in to the resources that Coach Dale Drake brought to us. Then, I mean, if you're not doing it as a leader, then don't expect who you brought into the business to be showing up, because sometimes, you know, the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack, right? So I say that to say this, that plug your people into the business and make sure you're doing the same. Make sure you're even showing up more than, you know, so when these people go on the Zooms or meetings or whatever, you are there, you're present. And I must say, guys, one of my most recent business partner that went to Rising Star, most of the time that I went on the Zoom meetings, I'm literally going to say this publicly, she's there. I'm like, wow. I'm like, she's ready. I'm like, this girl is here before me. What? I'm like, okay, this person, is showing the qualities that I could say, okay, she's going to be my next runner. And when I say runner, I'm going to allow one of the other leaders to talk about that, whether today or another time or whatever. Okay, so keep your business partners, whatever you need to do to keep your business partners in business, do that, because I'm going to say on behalf of myself on the Rebirth team, I am begging you to keep your business partners engaged. We are looking to make an impact, guys. This is not a plaything or a dolly house. We'll say back in Jamaica growing up. This is not a party shop or a dolly house. We are in serious business. So plug into all the resources that Coach Dale Drake and the other leaders, Jason L. Scott, Sonia, Latasha, Nikki, all the other leaders, they are pouring into us every single day. So we have to be grateful for that. Okay, so let's move on to our third word. And this is my favorite word. All right. And it is momentum. Listen, guys, momentum. So what I have written here, a person that can't build their own momentum will get discouraged and lost in the sauce. Hello. Listen, momentum, guys. Momentum is literally one of, I would say, the secret ingredients to all business, right? You have to learn to create your own momentum. What if, say, example, I am your sponsor, right? And you are low on energy or, feeling discouraged, and then you call me, like, I'm over here low on energy and all of that as well. So, I can help you right now, right? What are you going to do? You're going to quit your business? You're going to say yes to say no because you're not feeling the vibe or the energy today? Guys, you need to learn to create your own momentum. All right. I'm going to talk about two of the ways that how I create my own momentum. One, music. I love music. I said that before. I'm going to say it again. I love music, right? And I'm going to touch something on that a little bit. The second one is walk. I live right on the beach. And, sometimes, yes, my brain gets heavy. All right. So that's where the beach and the walk comes in, right? I have a little boardwalk. I just walk there. I just sat there. And even if I'm feeling full or whatever, I just like sit there, with my earphones on at times. And I would just watch the ocean like I'm just watching someone. You probably think I'm going crazy or looking out of space or something. But that helps me to recharge myself. Okay, I recharge myself. A lot of us look to other people to recharge us. That's not me. I recharge myself. Okay, I plug into my own self. I am the source of momentum, energy, positive vibes, all of that. I am the source for myself and my team, and other people too, right? But don't try to come and drain me now, not because I said I'm the source. Okay, so that is momentum. No, the third word, I'm probably moving a little too fast. I don't know. All right. My fourth word is determination. And when I said determination, there's a few things when it comes on to determination. But first, I'm going to talk to my American friends and Rebirth family directly. Okay. For us here in the Cayman Islands, for us to operate our business successfully, we need a third-party shipping address, right? And for my American Rebirth families or family, the last time I checked, TLC send your packages and products directly to your doorsteps, right? at times, depending on, you know, the product package, I mean, we are the big over here. It's elite premium bundles. That's what we do. We're not even talking about the smart ship with the 1, 2, or 3 products. We're talking about inventory, okay? That's where the money is. All right. As I said, this is directly for my American Rebirth family. We have to pay a huge custom fee at times. Sometimes it's between 300, 350, 400 US, okay, to get our packages. On top of that, we're paying twice the shipping fee. TLC shipping fee. TLC ship the products to our third party, shipping fee, second one, right? So when that package eventually come to us here in the islands, custom fee, bam. Yet still, we don't allow that to discourage us at all, because we are determined to win. We're determined to be of value to this organization. Okay? So for my Americans Rebirth family, what is your excuse? I want you to ask yourself today, what is your excuse? Because I could say like, damn, like, I got the premier bundles, right, for 600 and something. When it arrives, I am paying another like 200 or 150 to clear it. That could get me like another or 2 more kits. I could say, oh, this is not even worth it. But no. So ask yourself, as I said earlier, what is your excuse when TLC is shipping these products directly to your doorsteps? You guys should have, I'm going to say this and I'm going to throw myself in there, you know, our leaders should have already went. I know title doesn't matter to him, as he said before, but he probably should have went to global already. So that simply means he's pouring into us along with the other leaders and myself, but I don't think we're doing enough. I don't think I am doing enough. And I'm going to be real honest with you right now. Okay? So there's no excuse for my American family to not be showing up and showing out. Come on, guys. Now is the time. We are the rebirth, right? We, like, forget about like, you know, other things. Like we still haven't even done any work yet. You think we probably have done right? Oh yeah, I went to executive. That's nothing. We haven't even started working our business yet. Hence the reason why we all came together today and say, you know what? Let's pour into our people from all over the world. A little birdie told me that we have an amazing team all the way in Africa. Listen, Rebirth is not coming to play. So I want you guys to make the decision today to step it up a notch. Make yourself proud. Make your sponsors proud, your upline proud, you know, your family, whosoever that you want to make an impact with. Okay? So I wrote something here. I was laying down last night and something came to me and I wrote it down. It says, when you make a choice, you change your future. When you make a choice, you change your future. Right? And now is the time to make that choice. All of us came here together today. Make us proud. I mean, there are so many things we all could be doing. Listen, baby, I could be at my home chilling in the pool right now, drinking a pina colada or something. But we all, you know, came together and said, you know what? This is needed and this is necessary. So guys, I want you to make the choice today. When you make a choice, you change your future. Now is the time to make that choice. So, with further ado, I want to say a big thank you to my amazing coach, Coach Dale Drake, who is a multiple seven-figure documented earner who have coached many people to 6 and 7 earner in this industry. He's an amazing person. He's my headache. I mean, sometimes I heard Coach Schweiler, mention this earlier. I mean, at times, Coach Dale Drake will send me like message like bam, bam, bam. Like, oh my God. So I understand his personality, just like how Coach Twyler said earlier. I understand his personality. So when I see all these messages back to back, like I mean like 3 different huge lines, I'm like, okay, Coach Dale Drake, can we have a full conversation? I know his personality. And he's an amazing person. He wants the best for us. When I see messages like that, I'm like, you know what? I look into myself and I'm like, if I wasn't doing something wrong, he wouldn't put these messages into me. So then I need to look into myself and say, okay, what is it that I need to change? What is it, that I need to work on more or improve? Right? And the last thing I'm going to say on here is, guys, I joined this company, I think back in 2019, and I never seen or heard of Coach Dale Drake. I didn't know he existed when I joined the company. All right. So the leader that I had at the time, my sponsor at the time, I didn't even know I was a life changer. She said, I asked her, how can I get these products? She said, click the link in her bio. Typical TLC people, click the link in my bio, right? And she said, get this kit, get that kit. She didn't explain anything to me. Anyways, a couple months, in the company, then I see Coach Dale Drake, on the team page at the time, they put a training that this person is going to train. And I made the time and say, you know what? Okay, let me see how this person trained the business. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. I've never heard this before. I've never told him this, right? On that day when Coach Dale Drake trains, my exact word was, I wish I saw him first. I would have joined him. I want you to remember, I want you to understand the words that I spoke. I think it was Coach Nikki that talk about be intentional with your words, right? I want you guys to remember the words that I mentioned just now. I spoke these words 2019 that I wish I saw Coach Dale Drake first. I would have joined him. Why? Because of how he trained. When my leader at the time trained and all the other leaders trained, I don't know why I wasn't getting it. But on that evening, I remember it was an evening, he trained and I get it immediately, like bam. I'm like, damn, this is what them people trying to say all along. Like, I get it immediately when he spoke. And mine was like, I wish I would have joined him before. And I spoke that word probably, almost 5 years ago or something like that. And here am I living those words back into the same company under the leadership of the same person. I uttered those words out of my mouth and said, I wish this was the person I joined in Total Life Changes. When Coach Dale Drake reached out to me, I'm like, you sure? Because Pino and I'm like, you sure? He's like, yes. I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'm ready. So I just want to say thank you, Coach Dale Drake, for your amazing leadership. You're coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for your amazing leadership. Keep being the great person that you are. And I just can't wait for more of the people, Rebirth family, to get to know you and see, that you actually really, really want the best for us.
Amazing. Well, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for just proving that no matter where you are, whether you're new to the business, whether you're in the States or outside of the States, you can make it happen once you decide to change. Because once you decide to change, everything will change for you. So thank you so much. And as we get into the last leg of this all, if we can bring TP back on, Twyla Portis, please, back office. Thank you. And so And so I'm super excited. And by the way, I want to say this one last thing. You guys are going to be hearing a lot more from Kimona because I can see what's happening inside her organization. She's ready now. She's one of our top personally enrolled people as far as top recruiters on inside of the Rebirth, inside of the company. And I believe wholeheartedly that she will be the next regional director because, the mentee never chooses the mentor chooses the mentee. And I have very, very high hopes for her and everybody in the Cayman Islands. And so I'm excited. And so TP, I want to bring you back on because I have to get up out of here, but I want to see what you have to say about the fact that we just got a text message, and we won't say any names, but how much was the check for the week?
Man, I'm like, this is, $62,000.
$62,000 for the week.
$62,000 for the week.
Man.
And mind you, you can only get 20,000 from your binary at when you max your binary out. So that's 20,000. So another 40,000 has come from check matches.
So you know why
And let me just say this.
Yeah.
And I ain't seen them on the leaderboard, so it ain't fast starts. I ain't seen their name on the retail board, so they ain't retail income from last week.
Hello.
It's check matches.
Hello. So you know why I brought that up, right? So the person is she even in the United States?
Nope. Nope.
60,000 for the week.
60,000, 62,000. I'm gonna give them all their money. Okay, 62,000, third world country. When Steamy said, "What's our problem?" Because our product gets shipped to the door, and they gotta pay all these extra taxes and clearance and duty and whatever all that other stuff is. 62,000 for the week. And the income that they earn, just people just in general, what, about $3, $4 to $5 an hour, if that?
Man, I want to share the other part to that. And I'm trying to but I want to
checks too. I'm like, oh,
I gotta do this because I need people to understand this part. Not only was this person's check $62,000 for the week, she sent me another check of somebody that said yes to her very, 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 very early on. And this person's check for the week was $27,000 for the week. Now, here's the thing. I'm not taking anything from that second person. But I want you to know this person was one of the first 10 people that she enrolled in the business. This person just said yes, right place, right time before momentum. And that person's check was 20-something thousand for the week in a third world country, by the way. And so anyways, that's it. You can go ahead and introduce our next person. But I had to bring that up coming from Stimmy. I was like, I got to let people know, like, don't play around. United States, we get to the money, but hey, listen, we got Africa coming in. We got South Africa coming in. We got South Korea coming in. We got Nigeria coming in. Look, we make money over here, but it's a lot of money out of the country.
Yes, absolutely, man. I mean, that just it was just perfect timing. And just even as Steamy, as I said earlier, when she shared all the things that they have to go through. And she could easily be like, man, it's just too much. I mean, we don't make that much money here. We can't afford it. But just the determination to keep pressing. but more importantly, to call us on the carpet, you know, the Americans on the carpet. Sometimes we're spoiled and we really don't always see the opportunity that's in our hands. Many of us see it, but guys, we are 4 months in. And I always say, you know, 12 to 18 months, putting everything you learn today in practice, putting everything you learn today in practice. I promise you, if you do that, you're not going to recognize your income. And it's the small things that make the big difference, right? Bringing people in, onboarding them the right way. Network marketing and this comp plan. I don't know if you guys remember when I had the guest speaker on, he say, know your comp plan. Our money is in the check matches. But in order to get those check matches, you got to develop leaders. So you got to bring the people in, onboard them, get them set up with their launch call, get them set up with their home party. Steamy does a lot of home parties, right? So home parties is amazing. Everybody can do it. Everybody can invite 5 to 10 of their friends to their home and let them taste the product and talk about the products in everybody can do that. Then on top of that, we've got our social media training that is in the back office that just was rolled out. So now you can learn that. You can earn while you're learning the social media piece to add more people to more prospects to what you're doing. We have the best of both worlds. We've got to put the things into practice. Develop leaders. Our money is in the check matches. That's where it's at, in the check matches. And so, man, I remember those checks. I want them again. But to see that they're still available is beautiful. Okay. So I have the extreme pleasure to bring up our next and final speaker for today. And I tell you, I am just excited about it. This amazing lady is the CEO and founder of Women of Purpose. She's a wife, a mom of 4, and a powerhouse entrepreneur, owner of NL Properties, founder of LTD University, co-author of Women in MLM. I was in that book with her, by the way. Honorary doctorate recipient. And ladies and gentlemen, she was awarded for her impact work through WAP, Women on Purpose. And is on this international mission of efforts in Kenya with 9 years in the industry of network marketing and home-based business. This amazing woman became a 6-figure earner the first year, earning the nickname of Ignorance on Fire. She's also been recognized as a top 5 recruiter in all 3 companies that she's been in this 9 years that she's been in the industry. So I'm excited to bring her up. Guys, put your virtual hands together for none other than LaTosha Watt Williams. Bring Fine. What's up, LaTosha? How's it going?
Hey, Twyla! Hey, everybody! Listen. I get the look.
I don't even know where to look. I'm looking this way, the wrong way.
Well, LaTosha, I tell you, it's been an exciting evening. And obviously, I know that you have some incredible things to share. And obviously everything that's going on right now with Kenya, and you were on the top recruiter board this past week. Every time I look, there's new banners. Welcome. That's actually on your page and in the timeline. And so I want to definitely go ahead and give it to you to take it away as we get ready to close out this amazing Super Saturday. Go ahead, sis, take it away.
Well, first, I have to say to every single one of you, Jason, to Sonia, and y'all see Sonia, but you better know the J somewhere. So to Mr. J, to Nikki, to Steamy, to Daryl, and to my sponsor, my one and only sponsor, Dr. Twyla Portis. You know what? I had to get me a glass for this one, Jason, because I got a toast to y'all. See, I watch real good, right? It's an honor to be here on today because I heard Steamy say, you know, she spoke something into the atmosphere about Daryl Drake. Well, back in 2016, as I was looking at this industry, I saw a lot of you do some amazing things. And to sit here right now on this platform, it is manifestation. I remember seeing Twyla Portis walk across that stage. And I said, who is that? Then a few years later, we end up in a book together. And this time last year, Twyla, I came back to your 30 and 7 and said, I need you. It was a year this time last year. And so I'm the new kid on the block. I'm the only one who hasn't been in total life changes, but it's such an honor to be here, right? You all, after hearing every single person speak and having a blessing, you know, to go last, they've said so much, but everyone said one thing in common. This business is all about you. To be honest, it's not the company. It's not the product. It's not the compensation plan. It's all about you. When you realize who you are and whose you are, oh, your business can go to the next level. I just text Drake or told him personally, I had to remember who I was. I had to bring back all the awards that I was told to put back. Now I put them back because I don't want to be stuck in yesterday, but I brought them up to remind myself, girl, you know how to go out and get the people. So what are you doing? See, it's all about you. Mindset, the PD, not the police department, right, Nikki? The self-development that you're going to do will make or break your business. I'm so thankful that I had an opportunity. We have a brick and mortar business, and then I have this business. And I promise you, if I had had these concepts here before I had my brick and mortar business, woo-wee, things would have went a lot easier. Now, before we get to the slides, I just want you to jot this down because I'm going to come back to this. Peaking opens the door, prospecting builds the bridge, and recruiting brings them across. Again, peaking opens the door, prospecting builds the bridge, and recruiting brings them across. I get an opportunity to talk about the people. I get an opportunity to talk about bringing the people in the business, right? So I'm ready for the slide. And thank you, Mrs. Ashley, for working behind the scenes, right? So we're going to start right there with the definitions, okay? We're going to talk about peaking, we're going to talk about prospecting, and we're going to talk about recruiting. All of them are different, but they come together. See, without the business, without the people, you have no business. So how do you get the business? Let's be honest. Yes, we can all go out and sell product. We can promote the product. But if you want to tap into the income that was just talked about, that 62,000 or 68,000, if you want to max out the binary, you're going to have to go get some people. You're going to have a team. So let's talk about peaking first. This is your first spark. This is how you grab the curiosity of the person, right? How do you get them to even look? Do you keep your option open for things like additional income? This is an example. Do you ever think about what you want to take your health on the next level? That's piquing someone's interest without telling them too much. You know, I paid thousands of dollars for trainings. And one thing that most all trainers have told me was don't get in this business talking too much. Pique their interest. One of the greatest ways to push people away is to talk, to get to talking about all the ingredients. Now, this is when you're new. It's to just, oh, I want this, or I want to show you this. So learning how to pique their interest is one of the greatest ways to get someone. What not to do. Don't ever over-explain. Curiosity is the hook. Don't ruin it by talking too much. You do know we have what we call opportunity calls. So if you're going to have a big check, right, that's $62,000, the best thing to do is to pique somebody's interest and get them to the opportunity call, not over explaining, because what happens is people come in, right, and you pique their interest, but then you start talking and they'll catch you up in something you can't explain, or you'll over talk, or you don't have a story. So guess what? They go on about their business. A common mistake, explaining everything before the person is even interested. You can lose them very quick. Now let's talk about what prospecting is. Prospecting is where you qualify your potential partner, and you're looking for men and women who are hungry, coachable, and open to growth, right? This is where you're basically qualifying them. Now, I'm going to put an insert in here. It's okay to know who you want on your team. I always refer back to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Yes, our business is open for everybody, but do you want to recruit everybody on your team? Or do you want people who have certain characteristics, right? So how do you start to prospect and qualify them? Things like this. I'm connecting with motivated men and women who want to earn from home. Are you open to hear about this information? Or I'm connecting myself with purpose-filled individuals and you came to mind. I think this fits your energy. Do you have a little bit of time tonight or tomorrow? Which is better? When prospecting, we don't chase, we don't beg. We're actually sorting through. We're not selling nothing. We're trying to figure out, are they a qualified individual for the starting lineup? Remember, we're here to win the championship, not just to play the game, right? A common mistake is trying to recruit people who don't want more information because you haven't taken the time to listen to them. You're offering an opportunity. We're not here to convince nobody. So you want to look for certain attributes in a person who you don't have to convince, because if you got to convince them to get in the game, oh, you're going to have to convince them to play the game. And I guarantee you, if they're not joining you for the championship, you're going to end up wore out. Now, recruiting. This is an action step. Getting your prospect in front of the information and guiding them to a decision. You want to get them in front of the information and guide them through a decision. What works? A quick Zoom invite, a short 3-way call, asking confidentially, are you ready to start? A Zoom allows them to be in an atmosphere where they see other people. So they see it's not just them. Oh, it's other people who are on here. It's other people who are looking at this. A short 3-way chat allows you to do what Jason talked about. Edify someone else, edify yourself, get edification from yourself, but also gives them an opportunity to have the personal time. Now, let me tell you why 3-way chats is one of my favorite, especially when someone knows you. I have a saying: those who have known you as a chicken, it may be hard for them to know you as an eagle. Let me say it again. Those who have known you as a chicken, it might be hard for them to know you as an eagle. What does that mean? They knew me when I was little Tasha. They knew me when I was sucking my thumb. They knew me when I was asking them for $20 25 years ago. So I might need to put them in front of somebody else. Listen to me. They can edify everything I've been talking about so that we can slam dunk that deal, because we're not here to play the game. We're here for the championship. You know why I like Zoom calls? So that people are not by themselves, Crystal. So they don't feel like, oh, I'm talking to this person. This is a big person or a little person. I don't know. They're going to cave me into a corner. But when you listen, you'll know which is best for them, right? Here's another thing. Don't ghost. Don't hesitate. And your fortune is in your follow-up. You could have talked to someone today. They may not be ready today, but we were taught not too long ago, a couple of weeks back, about our calendar. If they're not ready today, that doesn't mean they're not ready tomorrow. They may give you a date and where they're ready tomorrow. You write that down and you follow up with them. But what about me? And a real story of Twyla Portis, who reached out to me of April of 2024 when I was a big old presidential founder in the company. 3 weeks later, the company closed. We end up talking again, and here I am now. See, things change with people. Seasons change. So make sure you're following up, whether they've asked you to follow up or not. They may not say, well, reach out to me. But if they haven't told you to leave me alone, then you got follow up. You're able to follow up, okay? Remember, peaking opens the door. Prospecting builds the bridge. Recruiting brings them across. Now, I have another insert for you. A lot of times, and you can change the slide. A lot of times we don't realize it's all about us. Remember, I stated this business has nothing to do with the company, the products, and the compensation plan, even though it's all amazing. What's going to show up in these daily actions is your self-development or your lack of self-development, right? What are you reading without your coach telling you to? What are you writing daily? This is my May journal. I have one for every month of the year. What are you writing and believing? What goals did you write out the last week of April for May? You catching me? This business is not about being told what to do, but developing into who you need to be. There's always a prize at the end, but I'm learning more and more as I grow older gracefully that it's not the prize, it's who you have to become to get the prize, right? It's not the prize, it's who you have to become to get the prize. Now, why do we recruit? Why do we build a team? Again, we can sell the amazing products, but if you want real wealth, freedom, the ranks, the lifestyle that you desire, you're going to have to go out and get two. It all starts with two. And honestly, if you don't know two people, then you might want to start looking at you. But everybody wants to go get two. And to be honest, you want to do it quickly because we have what's called binary pay and points are adding up in there. I'm not here to teach that. But if you go get your two, you basically can be the person who got that $27,000 or the $60,000 because two opens the door for two, opens the door for two, opens the door for two. Don't sleep on getting that two. And I mean, go get two who want to work the business. Yeah, you might put two people in as a placeholder so you're building up in the bank, but go get two people on your team. Now here this comes, right? As your team duplicates, so does your pay. Somebody got that check. Oh, I saw on the internet when somebody hit the maxed out $30,000 in the binary, and you don't get 30,000 binary by selling product. You get that by going to get two and they're going to get two. Now watch this. How do you do that? Ooh, you attract who you are. You attract who you are. You don't want to just recruit. You want to attract, right? Here's who Latasha wants to attract. Focused individuals. They mind not wandering all over the place. Today they selling with this company. Yesterday they was with that company. Tomorrow they're with that company. I don't want it. I want disciplined individuals. I want people who I do not have to tell that their light bill is due. Their motivation comes from within. So they're going to do what they got to do because that light bill, gas bill, water bill, every bill comes once a month. Disciplined people will make a decision to put time aside, even when they're working 2 jobs, because they want to let one job go. So they're going to work this business 30 minutes here and there. Even when life is quote unquote lifing, they're still going to do what they need to do, because as long as they're living, life is going to life. Hungry people. And a matter of fact, I want starving people, because when you're hungry, you might go make a sandwich. When you're starving, you're ready to cut up the cow. You're going to move different when you're starving. Coachable people. You don't come in knowing it all. Whether you have success or not, you're still coachable and teachable, because things change. I listened to Daryl when he said, do a little bit more activity on your social media. I'm older than Daryl. My son just turned 33, and I don't do all the social media things, but I understand that there's new technology, and I have to learn it, even if I have to ask my 16-year-old son to teach me. However, I also understand Twyla is from the old school, and I'm going to host some events. So I'm teachable and I'm coachable. And then you got to be ready to grow. When you get to the point where you know everything and you're the smartest person in the room, you're never going to grow. And when you're not growing, then you're dying. And your organization could die when you are not growing. Now, Twyla Portis is my sponsor, right? And I wanted to work with Twyla. So I'm gonna ask Ashley to bring up the stopwatch, right? Right? And so in this, when I decided I wanted to work with Twyla, I didn't join Twyla's team to say I want to work with Twyla and she done made $15 million and here I just want to cheer Twyla on. No, I came to be her point guard. I came to be her forward. I came to be on the team. So what I want you to take from that is I came with my own attributes, Jason. I didn't come to just say I'm with Twyla. So 30 seconds. Because you attract who you are, I want you to get ready, get pencil and paper or your phone, and I want you really fast, all you got is 30 seconds, to write down as many attributes about yourself to why someone should want you on their team. You ready, Ashley? 30 seconds. I want to see people talk about their attributes. Ready? What 3 qualities do you bring to the table? Let's go. Okay. Now I want y'all to, I see them coming in. Now, you know why I did that? Because a lot of times we're looking for people to show up in ways we don't show up, right? I knew that working with Twyla, I was going to have to show up. So because I show up, I can put in the atmosphere, Dr. TP, that I need women and men to join my team that's going to show up. I set goals without Twyla asking me. I send her and Daryl things throughout the week of what I want to do, and I run it by them. The cost of my living, the cost of my son's college, and the life I want for him makes me self-motivated. So I want self-motivated people. I'm accountable. I let them know what's going on with me, and I challenge myself. Latasha Watt Williams is only in competition with who she was yesterday. That's how I challenge myself. Why did I get on the leadership board? Because I said, who you playing with? You know all these awards you done got. If you don't go be better in this company that you always wanted to be in, then you owe yourself an explanation. So I want other people to challenge themselves. One thing I always tell my team is do better than what you did last week. If you allowing yourself to remain the same, don't get mad when your team remains the same. If you're not challenging yourself to get on the leaderboard, Daryl, right? Then don't get mad when you're not getting on the leaderboard, when you're not asking yourself to go to the next level. Don't ask anyone to go to the next level. You will attract who you are, right? Now, recruiting. When you're new versus when you're seasoned, right? You don't need to be perfect. You're new. Just borrow somebody else's stories. You don't have to know all this in the product. You don't have to have a story yet. The Facebook page of our amazing company, Total Life Changes, has all types of stories. If you just put in the search bar Total Life Changes, you'll find ingredients, you'll find pictures. Some people want everything to be perfect. But can I tell you something? You can never be perfect not starting. So you don't have to have it all together to get started, but you have to get started for it to start getting together. So when you're thinking about bringing somebody into a team, I've said things like this and I still say them. I just got started, but my mentor is helping me and other women win fast. The results are real. I have proof. I say things like, come join with me, Tammy. Maybe you don't have your health story yet, but do you know how many people would love to join with you on your journey? I hear a lot of people that say, oh, well, I want to try it first. Why? The owner of Puppy Child did not try the dog food first, but he's a billionaire. All you got to do is believe it, right? Don't coast, don't manage. The proof is in the pudding. Now, recruiting strangers versus people that you know. Well, let me go back to if you're older and seasoned and you've been doing this a while. See, some people have heard everything you've had to say. So you need some new blood, three-way edification. I just recruited some people who they was going to get in the business anyway. But I promise you, bringing Twyla Portis on the call, bringing Daryl Drake on the call, they were already at the free throw line, y'all. But getting the edification from them made the shot. Listen to me. You can be good at what you do, but there's always room to grow. Now, recruiting strangers versus people you know. The warm people are the people you know. They've seen you fail. I've said this before. They've seen you change lanes. How you were saying this business was that, or they remember so much, right? The solution to that is one thing, a three-way call. I'm going to say a three-way call, edification. Don't say you. Say we, and I'd love to introduce you to someone, right? Make people feel like they're being introduced to someone that can really help open the doors, because you do have that in your upline or your upline's upline, because sometimes your upline is too new. So you may need somebody else, right? Now, what is a three-way call? Because I don't want you to run away and not know what a three-way call is. A three-way call connects your prospects to your coach or your mentor. It edifies the business. It edifies you, and it shows your prospect the bigger picture. Why does it work? Because it builds instant credibility. It takes the pressure off of you. Why do you want to be a know-it-all anyway? And it creates the authority. You become the connector and not the closer. Now, I'm getting ready to get close and close out. Cold marketing recruiting is when it's strangers. They don't have a history. They see your posture and they might move, but they may not. But it allows them to be open, curious, and ready to listen. So you got to show up with confidence and conviction. Posture is everything in any business. People do business with who they like, know, and trust, or they do business with people who represent something that they desire. Which one are you? Someone said, look at yourself. Would you do business with you? Steamy said, look at your social media. Well, I'm going to take it a little further. Look at how you walk out the house. Look at how you talk. Look at what you do when nobody's watching. Do you sit up and do Netflix all day and you ain't reading no books? See, it's going to come out. Do you gossip, but you're not writing any goals? It's going to come out one way or the other. When people see you, do they see someone who has transformed or who is transforming? That's important. But we've already covered that because it may not be you've arrived there yet, but are you on your journey? I haven't made $15 million in this industry, but I show up with people who has, and they're starting to see my success over here, right? So you gotta, if you want to get the people, you gotta become this. Now, you gotta have some confidence. You can't be walking around mumbling. Jason said you can't be texting. I've seen, and I'm talking about my own team, nobody else. I've seen a lot of my team members laying in the bed with your bonnets on, coming with you laying in the bed, you cooking, you doing everything else. This is a business. And until you treat it like a business, it's never going to be a business. You 20 minutes late. You're going to attract people who don't take you serious because you're not serious. Yes. It's more than just social media, right? You're texting while we're on training. Whoever you're texting, if they can't show you 15 million, you need to put them on the back burner, because what happens is you're going to attract that person based off of who you are, and that's who they're going to be in your business. And then you're going to wonder why they didn't go get binary qualified. Well, because they saw your behavior. They saw your behavior. Right? Birds of a feather flock together. My grandmother taught me that in 1978, and I was 4 years old then. You are the sum of the people you're around, and if you want to recruit up, you're going to have to posture up. Yes, a lot of us have stories on what we need more income in, and we know how the society is, but you don't have to be broke and busted and disgusted and let people know this. That's another teaching. Getting ready to close. What is a contact? See, recruiting is a numbers game. Let's get this straight. Posting is not prospecting. It can be piquing their interest. It could be letting them know what's going on. But making a post and hoping that people respond is not prospecting. That's not making a contact. Here is a contact. A real contact is when you reach out, they respond, and you engage. Let me say it again. You reach out, they respond, you engage. Twyla reached out to me. I responded. Engagement happened. Now we married to TLC. Y'all catching what I'm saying? You reach out, they respond. So if you reached out to 200 people, and only 2 responded, you only had 2 contacts. Let me say it again. If you reached out to 200 people and you had 2 responses, you only made 2 contacts. Y'all, this is very important to me because in order to get on the leaderboard, you got to have a whole lot of no's. If Daryl Drake had 100 yeses, Sonia, he probably had 1,000 ignores. Y'all follow? Are you built for this? See, I listen to a training every day now that says everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Beasts are not afraid. They hunt. And when they hunt because they're hungry. So they okay with missing the little deer for the big deer. You can't think you're going to get on the leaderboard. You can't think you're going to make $15 million. You can't think you're going to have a maxed out binary, but you told your cousin about the business and she said she was coming to the call. Examples to contact: a reply to your message, a phone conversation or voice note, Jacqueline, a live DM. There's so many ways to do it now. Again, numbers game. This is a numbers game. Cyan J did not just talk to one person in South Africa. They had to talk to a lot of people in South Africa. And then some of them are still thinking about it, right? But you don't get to, oh, well, they said they're going to do it. No, it's a numbers game. So I have another action step for you in just a second. So get ready. How many people will you peak today? How many people will you invite to a call? How many people do you want to enroll? See, you got to have an action plan. That leaderboard stuff didn't just happen. Daryl said, oh, I'm going to on the leaderboard. It was a plan. It wasn't a hope. It wasn't a wish. And anything that you want, you have to work backwards. You have to begin with the end in mind. So in order, Mary, to get up on the leaderboard, he knew there was some things he had to do, or he was not getting on that leaderboard. In order for us to get our 2 people, if you don't do the work, you'll never have the 2, and you'll always be cheerleading. And we're happy for the cheerleaders, but we want to see you at the top. I'll touch that in my close. So have a goal. How many people do you want this week? Put it in the chat. It's Saturday. Saturdays and Sundays, people are spending money. Why aren't they spending it with you? Maybe because you have not reached out to them. Why haven't they joined you in business? They're not multimillionaires and everybody need additional income. So how many people will you bring in by this Thursday? You have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Well, nobody put no numbers in there. How many will you bring in? Well, break that down. See, when you set the goal, you can then set the action steps. Are you built for this? That's what Peggy's saying. How many will you invite to the call? Because how many you invite to the call and how many you get on 3-ways will determine how many you're going to bring in. Track it and log it. Following up, consistency, confidence, and leadership. Follow up is so important. These tools are so important when getting number 1 recruiter in a company, number 3 in recruiter in a company, and there's 18,000 affiliates, right? Final closing. Peaking opens the door. Prospecting builds the bridge. Recruiting brings them across. I have one last step for you. Get your phones. You got 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Grab your phone. Ashley, I'm ready for the 60 seconds. And I don't know if you can put it on the screen or not, but I want you to grab your phone, right? And I want you to do this. I want you to get ready. Don't worry about who you're texting, right? I just want you to text, okay? That's all I want you to do is text as many people as you can, okay? And the message I want you to text, hold on one second, Ashley, do I have it? Or did I give it to you? There we go. Hey, hope all is well. I'm building something big with some incredible individuals. And I thought about you. Are you available today to talk, or is tomorrow better? You see it? Somebody can put it down in the chat. Hey, hope all is well. I'm building something big with some incredible individuals. And I thought about you. Is today good, or is tomorrow better? She's going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and I want you to just go for what you know. Do not worry about who you're texting. Just send it out. And I want to see how many text messages you get out. Let's go. And you can DM it if you want to. Go ahead, Ashley.
I recall my power and all my energy back to me with divine care. my light energy, run that back, get your own. I'm emotionally gifted, so I must guard that gift with wisdom and firmness. My openness is emotionally generous. I must be watchful. I'm seeing who are and aren't skilled to receive. I receive what others' blind spots are, teaching me about budgeting my energy and setting the boundaries. I have the right to tell people what they don't want to hear in the name of setting the boundaries. I also won't exhaust myself on people who ain't listening. I'm done with people pleasing and the attachment to make everyone.
Start receiving responses. You did that in 60 seconds. Imagine you being so disciplined that nobody ever have to tell you that again. You just open up your messenger and your text message every day, and you set 10 minutes aside for responses. And who cares what they say back? The whole goal was for you to take action. You can look at all the leaders, all the trainers, all the people who are doing big things. You can be a person who have done big things, but until you take action, you're just hoping and you're wishing. This company has set us up where if you bring people into this business, you can change your entire life. It's all up to you, because it's not about the company, the business, the products, or the compensation plan. It's all about who you say you are. Remember, peaking opens the doors, prospecting builds the bridge, recruiting brings them across. That's my time. I'm Latasha Watt Williams, and I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is just too crowded. Have an amazing day, Rebirth.
All right. Well, awesome. Latasha, I still have my head down, sending out my messages. And, guys, just everything you shared today has been absolutely amazing. I mean, guys, it's all about action. Latasha, just gave you the meat and potatoes of something that you could do every single day, and really begin to literally pique the interest and put up the numbers. It is a numbers game, as she mentioned. And I hope that you guys got value out of everything that she shared today. As a matter of fact, if you got value out of this last piece of the foundational principles needed to build a very successful network marketing business, go ahead and put a 2 in the comment section. Put a 2 in the comment section. I just want to see if you guys got the same value I see the 2s are absolutely coming in. Did you guys enjoy our virtual Super Saturday today? I tell you, we had some speakers and leaders that really put the hammer down today. And I believe that you have everything that you need to really go out here and build a business that you can be proud of. Every single piece of today was all needed, and some things overlapped each other, which I love, because I believe that, sometimes you have to hear it, and then you think about doing it. You have to hear it again. You hear it, you don't do it. You hear it a second time, you think about doing it. You hear it a third time, and then you decide to put it into action. And so thank you so much for everybody that obviously shared today and brought your gifts, your talent, your skill, your experience to the Rebirth family. And for all of you that listened in, are you now ready to take your business to the next level? If you are ready to take your business to the next level, go ahead, put a 1 in the comments. I want to see who's ready. And so leaders, as you see people coming on, just take note of who's saying that they're ready to get it done. I can tell you that I believe that this organization is one of the best organizations in Total Life Changes. We've got the best leadership in this industry, and we're ready to rock and roll. So with that being said, I want to give you 3 things that's coming up, right? The first thing that's coming up is going to be in May. It's the Houston kickoff in May 16th and 17th. So mark your calendar for that. May 16th and 17th is our Houston kickoff. Now, my question for you is, where should we go next? Where should we go next, right? For the next Taste and Talk coming up. So Houston, May 16th and 17th, tell us where we should go next. for the next Taste and Talk. The next thing is June, guys. June 6th and 7th, okay, is our corporate rebirth tour. June 6th and 7th. That is etched in stone. That is our tour in Detroit. At the corporate headquarters, there's going to be training. There's going to be, video drops. There's going to be photo shoots. There's going to be, merch that we're going to get. There's a lot of great things that's going to happen. And that is June 6th and 7th. So mark your calendar for that. And lastly is our international convention. Our international convention, September 11th, and that is going to also be in Detroit. What I love is that obviously that'll be the final quarter of the year, well, the kickoff of the final quarter of the year in September, and we're going to be there in record numbers, right? We're going to be there in record numbers and make sure that we show up. We're not going to just have a seat. We're not going to have a row. We're not going to just have a section. We're going to have several sections. All right. So mark your calendars. Guys, don't wait to the last minute. Start reaching out to your teams who's going to, bunk up with each other, buy your flight now, get your hotel later, whatever it is that you got to do, but you got to be in Detroit for our September 11th event. So guys, listen, this has been amazing. I have sat here the entire day. I got so much from every single speaker that spoke today. It's a reminder of we've got everything we need. We got everything that we need. And so all we need now is you to put your best foot forward, start to put everything you learned today in practice. And we're going to see each and every one of you at the very top. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you. God bless your families. And this is Victory. We'll see each and every one of you.